Good evening, everybody. Buenas tardes. We're going to go ahead and get started. So we call this meeting to order of the regular board meeting for Coachella Valley Unified School District on September 11th, 2025. 1.2, Pledge of Allegiance. Trustee Calamanes, would you mind leading us on the pledge? Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to start with the moment of silence. Okay. All right. So being that today is September 11th, it's the 24th anniversary. It looks like we have 1.3. Just asking for a community for a moment of silence. I know there's a lot going on today and just in the world, right? But just recognizing all the lives that were lost on September 11th. So just ask for a moment of silence. A couple minutes. Thank you. All right, thank you, everybody. Really appreciate taking that moment. I know that there were a number of events, including a school shooting, a shooting at a university as well, and I think just recognizing that it's a prevalent issue, right, in our community, and so just recognizing the lives lost for violence and gun violence, right? Okay, 1.4, roll call. Edgar?
We will do roll call. President Jocelyn Vargas,
Here?
Clerk Valerie Garcia,
Present?
Board Trustee Joey Acuna, Board Trustee Trinidad Arredondo,
Present.
Board Trustee Jesus Gonzalez, Board Trustee Thomas Tortes,
Here.
Board Trustee Alena Calamanis,
Here.
Superintendent Dr. Francis Esparza,
Present.
Assistant Superintendent Dr. Monica Makovich, Assistant Superintendent Socorro Sanchez, and Assistant Superintendent Julie Vigil. Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda item 2.1, governing board official selection. So we have election of governing board officials. So we, with the vacancy of Vice President Paz, we had to go through the process of appointing, which we did, and now we are having to fill the Vice President's seat. So is there a motion?
Madam
Yeah.
President, I'd like to nominate Thomas Torres, Vice President.
Okay. So we have a motion. Do I have a second? Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstain? Mr. Torres abstains. Were we supposed to ask you if you accept? Yeah. Okay. So Mr. Torres, then you're selected as our Vice President. So thank you. Yeah. Okay. So maybe once we come back from closed session, then we can rearrange our seats. Yeah? Moving on to 2.2, appointment of Vice President to list of committees. So with the vacancy, we have to fill a number of seats, and with Trustee Calamanes joining us, we'll be assigning her as well. So sorry? Oh, so we have the list in the packet? Oh, okay. I think the list is attached to it. Do we have to also assign me to some of these committees? No, if you're not. Okay, okay, so the vacancies that were left, okay, so the Budget Committee, it does say here that Vice President is required, so Trustee Torres will be assigned to the Budget Committee? Do we have to motion, or? Okay. All those in favor, I mean, this is a required one, so I'm assuming that, I mean, we're okay. Okay, so Budget Committee, Trustee Vice President Torres will be assigned to it. Then we have the next one. I don't see us on here. Oh. The Cachal Valley Education Foundation. So we have a vacancy. Oh, I see what. Okay. I'm sorry. Let's start from the top. So Audit Committee, we have a vacancy. So I think that's where.
Madam President, if I might, would it not be easier to simply transfer all of former member Paz's committees to our new board member for now, with the exception of the Ed Foundation, because that one needs to be separately voted on by the board because of the nature of the committee. But if that would be okay with you, if you could simply take over her committees. They're basically, we all split them up.
Which committees were they?
She'll have a list.
So it would be, okay, so the Audit Committee would be one. So we can assign the Audit Committee. That's okay.
Isn't it too soon?
So part of our
To the audit.
yeah, so part of our responsibilities as board members, we each take we participate in
I
the.
understand that.
I know it was soon
audit
to
is
me
kind
too.
of-
Yeah. No, you'll be okay. We'll help. So we have the Audit Committee, and then the Ed Foundation. So we're placing her on that one.
That
too?
one I would only vote on separately just because
Okay.
of the nature of the committee.
The committee, okay. And then the only other one I see is, I think that's the only other one I see. Yeah? Oh, okay.
Can I, because I'm on a 2x2 for City of La Quinta, can I have her take my place on that committee?
Would you be okay with that? Makes sense. Would anybody else have a comment on that? So she would take, okay. So then, on the 2x2 for the City of La Quinta, Ms. Calamanes will be replacing Trustee Arredondo. And any other changes to the committee? Okay, so then the one we have open then is the Ed Foundation. So right now, it requires the president of the board. We have Trustee Gonzalez, Dr. Esparzo, just staff assigned, and then we have a vacancy.
The reason I ask is because according to the bylaw changes that are being made, we can't have more district people than other people. So actually, we may want to hold off on this particular
Okay.
one until the bylaw changes are made, because we currently have the president, obviously, Mr. Gonzalez is the board member assigned and the superintendent. So we may want to wait on that one until we get the final change in the bylaws. Otherwise, we're going to have to take someone off if that is the case. So that's why I wanted that one separately, so that way we can move forward with everything else. Hold off on that one until the bylaw changes come back fully. I think they were in the process of being submitted and done. Once they are fully submitted and executed, then we can come back and find out if we actually need another board member or not.
Okay.
If that's okay with everyone.
Okay. So do we have a motion to approve the assignments?
I'll motion.
Okay. Do we have a second? So that motion is to approve what we've assigned and then to leave the Ed Foundation to.
Correct.
Okay. Do we have a second? I'll second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Thank you. We're going to move on to recognitions. Julissa Hernandez, presentation of certificates of agencies working with Cachal Valley Unified District students and families.
Good evening, Board President, Board Trustees, Executive Cabinet, and Dr. Esparza. This evening, we would like to acknowledge some of our community partners who have been providing services and resources to our CVUSD students and families. I will be calling up each agency and just giving a very short summary of what it is that they have been helping us with or supporting with outside of any type of contract. Our first community partner recognition is for Latino Commission for them providing CBITS and Promotoras program. We extend heartfelt thanks to the Latino Commission for providing cognitive behavioral intervention for trauma in schools, counseling groups, and Promotoras de Salud, which is family outreach. These free of cost services help students heal from trauma, build coping skills, and strengthen family-school connections.
Take a picture.
Our next community partner is Assistant League of Coachella Valley. We are grateful for their many supports, especially the Period Project, which supplies feminine products to every wellness center. They also keep our wellness centers stocked with snacks and waters for our students. The following partner, Friday Night Live. Thank you for bringing our DJ-led dance parties and positive social events to our campuses. FNL provides fun, substance-free activities that engage youth and promote drug and alcohol prevention. The following is the Anderson Children Foundation. We appreciate the foundation's generous funding of innovative projects across the district, enriching academic programs, wellness initiatives, and extracurricular opportunities for our students. The following is Riverside County District Attorney's Office. We work closely with Rain Ritchie. We recognize their collaboration to improve school attendance, offering presentations, early intervention resources, and supportive strategies to help students and families overcome barriers to regular attendance. The following group of TODEC, Training Occupational Developmental Educating Communities. Thank you for guiding families through immigration challenges, providing up-to-date information, legal navigation, and workshops so that parents and guardians feel supported and informed. And also we have Alancia Coachella Valley. We value Alancia's leadership in restorative practices and LGBTQ+ support, helping schools build inclusive, respectful climates where every student feels safe, valued, and connected. That is our set of community partners for tonight's recognitions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we could take we could join them for a picture. Yeah.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to closed session public comments. I have two items. This is an opportunity for members of the public to address the governing board regarding any closed session items within the board's subject matter jurisdiction. Please complete a request to address the governing board form and hand it to the recording secretary. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes per person with a maximum of 20 minutes to each subject matter. The first person we have here is Rayan Saldua, CSCA. There's a couple items noted here, 4.5, 4.6, 4.7, labor negotiations.
I had to switch my brain a little bit from what I was told, that because supposedly we agreed to bringing back some of these positions, the labor negotiations has concluded with that. So what I will say is that I think it's in poor taste to conclude labor negotiations regarding these positions. For some reason, the IMA duties, when you guys had brought them back, the question, the number one question they asked was, do I have to do the full scope of my duty? And of course, the answer was yes, but within those 5 hours. But one of their duties got transferred to the technicians, which would be setting up the repairs and wrapping all that stuff out, filling out the forms, and sending all that out to the repair company. So if they were expected, the IMAs, to do the full scope of their duties, why aren't they? And sadly, during the first week at my visit to Oasis, I noticed one of the parents crying, trying to register their student, and the office staff was doing the best they can, but they're missing out on the experience of the parent liaison being there to support them in the way that they do, because they're specialized in doing that. So this parent walked away, came back with more family members, only to start fighting with one another, because that's how frustrated they were in trying to, get their youngest registered. I'm not sure where these transfers of duties are going, how they got there. Like with technology, I'm not sure. I don't think my bosses wanted to give me that duty. Maybe, Socorro had their boots over a fire and they passed it along to us. But what they told me was that HR agreed to this transfer of duties. So whether that's true or not, who knows? But simple solution, continue negotiating that, bring back these positions, get them the hours they need, and let's keep moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Next comment, Veronica Dueñas, CSCA 4.8.
Good evening. I was hoping I'd go later on, but that's okay. So good evening, Board President, Madam Vargas, board members, trustees, Dr. Esparza, Superintendent, and Extended Cabinet. So I'm here tonight on behalf of Transportation Department staff. The author of this statement could not make it tonight, so I said that I would go ahead and read it for her. And it's a concern that they have about policy 4212.8 by the own governing board that was adopted, and originally adopted date 6/27/2019, last review date 6/27/2019. And what it states, and I'm going to read a portion of it because I don't need to read the whole thing, but it does state this. The board prohibits the appointment of any person to a position for which his/her relative maintains management, supervisory, evaluation, or promotional responsibilities, and prohibits any employee from participating in any decision that singularly applies to any of his or her relatives. For purpose of this policy, relatives including the individual's spouse, domestic partner, parent, grandparent, great-grandparent, child, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, brother, sister, aunts, uncle, niece, nephew, and the similar family of the individual's spouse or domestic partner. Then in addition, you also put a clause in there which we have fought before and have lost, and now it's going towards you guys. In addition, the superintendent, principal, or designee may determine on a case-by-case basis whether appointment of a person to a position in the same department or facility as an employee for whom he/she maintains a personal relationship, when that relationship has the potential to create, 1, an adverse impact on supervision, safety, security, or morale of other department employees, or 2, conflict of interest of the individuals involved, which is greater because of their relationship, that will affect the other person. My person's statement is exactly that. It is not fair that a process happened through HR to hire a person that is on the board agenda for approval for appointment, and it totally violates 4212.8 in your own board policy. And that is within the transportation department. Again, we have talked about this time and time again. I might not be using the proper statement that others have said is called nepotism, I believe, or something to that effect, right? And here we are with the same exact thing. This department has had so many issues, concerns, a vote of no confidence, and so on. And I have a feeling that the majority of some people that are in here are also going to talk about transportation issues. And here is one that is literally in your guys' hands and your own board policy. Please do the right thing. Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you. Do we have other closed session comments? No. Can I, 4.2, can I get a motion to, a second? I'll second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstention? We'll be back at 7:30. We're scheduled to come back at 7:30. If we're later, we'll provide an announcement. Okay, thank you. We motion to return to open session. 5.2, announcements of action taken in closed session.
Thank you. Okay, the board took the following action in closed session. Approved expulsion case number 24/25-004 for clear reinstatement. Motion made by trustee Gonzalez, seconded by trustee Arredondo. Motion carried 7-0 unanimously. Passed to clear the student. Next, we have the board took action during closed session to appoint Rene Aguilar as Director of School Safety and Security at Coachella Valley Unified School District, effective the 11th day of September, 2025. The motion was made by trustee Gonzalez, seconded by trustee Tortes, and the motion carried 4-2. The votes were trustee Vargas, aye; trustee Garcia, nay; trustee Gonzalez, aye; trustee Acuña, aye; trustee Arredondo, nay; trustee Tortes, aye; and trustee Calimanes, aye. Thank you. Next one, the board took action during closed session on the rescission of the employment contract involving employee number 2026/01/687 with the Coachella Valley Unified School District, effective this 11th day of September, 2025. Motion was made by trustee Gonzalez, seconded by trustee Arredondo, and motion carried 7-0. The votes were unanimous. And that concludes the report.
Okay. Moving on to 5.3, approval of the agenda is submitted. We have motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or items to pull from the agenda or discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Public comments, 6.1. Introductory comments and requests to address the board on items on the adopted agenda and items not on the adopted agenda will be considered from the audience at this time. Please complete a request to address the governing board form and hand it to the recording secretary. Additionally, the person making the request should state his or her name and the name of the organization or group represented. Please be advised that the board is not always at liberty to answer questions right away. State law prohibits the board from taking any action on items not listed on the agenda. We have a number of individuals providing public comment tonight, so I'll call the 2 individuals so that we can get folks ready. And then if I could ask folks to add the timer on the screen. First public comment, Jacqueline Ramirez, urgent concerns regarding staff shortage. And the person after is also Jacqueline and Megan family, if you're ready, just be ready. Okay, thank you.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline Ramirez, and I'm representing CVU Elementary. I'm concerned as a parent and as a mother of a child with special needs, and I'm writing to express my dismay at the denial of access to the after-school ACES program at CVU Elementary. This program is specifically designed to enhance learning opportunities for students with diverse needs, and I believe my child is being denied this chance due to district inadequate staff and supporting. I'm deeply troubled that my son is being sidelined from this vulnerable or this valuable opportunity solely because of his special needs. And addressing these needs would not only benefit my child, but also contribute to the overall success of the school. And I urge the district to implement necessary staff and training to ensure that all students regardless of their abilities have access to ACES program. It is imperative to clarify that my concerns are not directed towards CVU Elementary School, the principal, or staff. In contrast, they've demonstrated commendable efforts in supporting my son and keeping me informed. My concerns lie with the district's failure to provide the resources and staffing to enable the school to function optimally. Without adequate support from the district, the staff is unlikely to successfully execute their duties. In my capacity as a working parent, I'm deeply concerned about the current staffing shortage at CVU Elementary, which is denying my son, a second-year student, access to academic support. And I firmly believe that every student deserves the opportunity to thrive academically in a socially and in a safe and supportive learning environment. It's also noted that there's been several eliminations from behavior technology specialists and bilingual psychologists, technicians, and that's also been implemented. And as I previously mentioned, I'm a mother of special needs. My son requires IEPs, and I've requested a follow-up for this year to ensure my son's success, and I'm actively involved in my son's education, and I'm his biggest advocate. The BPTs are responsible for scheduling those IEPs, so how can they schedule if they've been terminated? This has scheduled an insignificant delay in my son's education, and it's consequently, there's an inadequate behavior support system for our special need education, and it's caused an insufficient scheduling time for those IEPs. I'd like to conclude my statement by saying I'm not only representing my son's interests, but also those of many parents who may be hesitant to voice their concerns, and I strongly urge the district to take immediate action. Thank you.
Thank you. Next public comment, we have Megan Family, parent concern on bus issues, and then after that, we have Ms. Veronica Dueñas.
Good evening. My name is Megan Farley. I am a parent in our district. My son is a bus rider. There has been a few instances where he accidentally got on the wrong bus. He's on the autism spectrum and is high functioning. If he had the ID cards and the system was working, he would not have been on the wrong bus. The driver would have known he was on the wrong bus and would have told him, you're on the wrong bus, go to bus, whatever he had to get on. He ended up in the wrong neighborhood, scared and lost. He called and said, Mom, I'm lost, I don't know where I'm at. Luckily, the bus driver was helpful and said, I will take you to your house. Dropped him off. I immediately looked on the app that you all have been pushing us to use. None of the app has worked since day one. Before the update, after the update, there is no routes, there is no times, there is nothing on that app that shows where my child is. When is this app gonna start working? You guys have been pushing and pushing and pushing, and it's not working. How is it fair for our students and for the parents to be, I'm gonna make sure my student gets to school safely, gets home safely, and I have to worry that he's on the right bus? He should be able to leave my house, get to the bus stop, get on the right bus, get to school, from school, the right bus, back to home. I hope none of you guys have ever had to go through that pain, through that fear that your child is lost. You need to do better.
Thank you. We have Ms. Veronica Dueñas. There's 4 different items, so you can go ahead.
So first and foremost, Veronica Dueñas, good evening, CSEA Union Representative. There's a couple of topics that I believe I have wrote down that I needed to talk on. One was issues and concerns for North Shore, and then the M&O issues and concerns. So I'm going to kind of put those together just for the sake of time. So it has come to my attention that in North Shore, there's literally equipment missing for the custodial at that brand new school. How did we open up a school that doesn't even have vacuums for the custodians? Okay, that goes alongside with the M&O situation, issues and concerns. Now, I know we have budget constraints and all that good stuff that's going on, but the reality is that we should have, M&O should be checking up on inventory of equipment at all sites, yet we send out Waxy to do it, and I know that for a fact, to do the inventory of the equipment. But if we knew that there was missing equipment at a brand new school, that should have been jumped on ASAP. They should have provided the equipment, and now we have old equipment that's being used or was being borrowed from another school site that, FYI, Toro Canyon has 3 broken vacuums that are barely gonna be ordered. We need to step up the situation with M&O, please, and make sure that the equipment and training for custodial staff also gets stepped up, because we don't have that training, and I can say that for a fact. So please, M&O and North Shore, we need the proper equipment to do the jobs out there. Thank you. Next subject, I believe, was?
Employee statement on 8.1.
Okay, perfect. So yes, sorry. I had spoke about a statement that an employee wanted to make prior to the closed session that I was not able to, they were not here and they were not able to read. So I do want to read it for that bus driver that was not able to come in. So the statement reads, hold on, sorry. I want to share a concern regarding the appointment of the new routing coordinator. This person has close family ties and already working in the department. This position directly oversees family members within the department. This creates a clear conflict of interest, raises serious concerns about fairness, accountability, and the appearance of favoritism. Even with the best intentions, such an arrangement risks lowering morale, divides staff, and undermining confidence in leadership decisions. We are also questioning why the new routing system was not given more time and support to work effectively. Instead of bringing in a new person, assistance could have been provided to strengthen the program. When I returned from Labor Day, I found a new person in place, and my route completely changed back to the old system. This left many of us wondering why the new program was stopped so quickly without being given a fair chance. We all need to set personal issues aside and work together to support the success of new programs. They should not be worried about who is in charge of doing the routes. What matters is helping the program work for everyone. With teamwork and proper backing, the system could have become effective. This solution also raises concerns about compliance with district policy, which is designed to prevent conflict of interest and protect fairness in supervisory roles. Moving forward with this higher risk, creating the appearance of favoritism, it goes against the very principle of transparency and equity, and the policy is meant to hold up. It's meant to hold up. We respectfully ask the board to carefully review this matter and consider whether the best interests of staff, student, and family are being served under the current structure. Our goal is not to oppose individuals, but to ensure fairness, integrity, and stability in the transportation department so we can continue providing safe, reliable service for our students. Thank you for the time and the consideration. Thank you.
8.1, and then we have Alejandra Garcia.
8.1 for mine, correct? Okay. So again, thank you. Good evening. You are going to have a presentation that is called 8.1 about the transportation update, department update. In this update, you have current page 2, you were talking about the PTI audit results. PTI recommended to CVUSD, department restructuring, implement a routing system, increase transportation staff accountability, which we all know what that is. But then it also says CVUSD is implementing. Again, I have come up here multiple times to say, what does implementation mean? You all know that. What does implementation mean? It means that it's working and we are using it. It means that it is being enforced and it is working and we are using it. Are we doing that? No. Hiring of key management? Yeah, you guys did that. We're still waiting on it. Implementation of busology routing system? Yes, you guys purchased it. It's an approved purchase and it's in the transportation. But is it doing its function? FYI, that's why I have bus drivers here to let you know what you guys have approved and what is really going on out there. I said, the union, we were okay, we were in support of this because it worked both ways. But when it doesn't work and we are not implementing something, it don't work for nobody, no way. And that is where we're at. This district paid a good penny for this system, just like all the other systems that we have paid for. And it's in the same process as all the other systems that the district has paid for. And that now I'm bringing you witnesses. So you can't say that me is coming up here just to talk to you guys. So I am bringing you now testimony on this. So again, transportation staff accountability, which includes monitoring staff attendance, monitoring staff fidelity of the new routing system. I don't even know what that means. Why would we want to know the fidelity of the staff? Again, you want to hold us accountable? Hold us accountable. You got your management now. Good. But don't put it on this kind of thing. I don't need to know that. I already know what you guys are going to do. That's why we're here as a union, and that's why we collaborate with you guys. So again, things on this 8.1, that's up to you, board members. That's your guys' decision. And here we are again talking about what you guys are doing wrong or right. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. We have Alejandra Garcia, followed by Paul Medina.
Good evening. My name is Alejandro Garcia. I am a loyal 32-year employee of the Coachella Valley Unified School District. And through the years, I've seen a lot of downs, and ups, and here we are again, down. I'm here to talk about the busology that is not being used in the school buses. Parents can't download the app. Parents don't know where their children are. 2 weeks ago, a TK student was dropped off at Mountain View Estates. Was not supposed to be dropped off at Mountain View Estates. Luckily, another parent saw this student, saw his name tag, saw that he did not belong there, called the parent on a child's phone and informed the parent, your student is here. A TK student was dropped off miles away from their home. Did this busology work? No. Students are asking, when are we going to use this? Well, maybe next year, people are saying. Not people, the people that are dropping them off, which is not a good thing to say, I would like to add, but they're saying it. Cameras don't work on the buses. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Throughout the day, they work, oh, but not at the end of the day. Why do we have these cameras on the buses if they're not gonna work? Who is monitoring these damn cameras? Who is, you have management over there, 10,000 people in transportation, and they're not doing shit. Okay? Don't go like this to me either.
Don't curse.
Okay. But who, you have all these people there, who is watching what we're doing? We are there, we are loyal employees. You guys need to do something about this problem in the bus. Children are being left in whole other neighborhoods with special needs, a child that might not even know their name. If they didn't have that bus tag on them, where would it be? In whose hands would they be in? And who's responsible? But all you that are up there that put other people in charge. We follow directions, we do what we need to do, but management needs to step it up, and a lot, because we don't want lawsuits to come in. And maybe that's what needs to happen to this district. Think about it, Jesus, don't smirk at me like that, and don't laugh. Thank you.
Thank you. Next person, next public comment, we have Mr. Paul Medina on 8.1, and then we have Silvia Alvarado on 8.1 as well.
Yeah, good evening. My name is
Thank
Paul
you.
Medina. Please forgive me, I've been a little bit under the weather. I've been a bus driver for 22 years, and since day one, when you guys started with Zonar, the tablets from New York City, it's never worked. You guys waste so much money on these websites or on these stuff, and it doesn't work. The new routing system, the Verify, it tells me that I have to get from Transportation Department to visit them more in 23 minutes at Leicester and China Sea. I've been doing that route for 2 years. I know it does not take 23 minutes to get to Salt Lake City. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then you guys are letting us know that we're supposed to go door to door. Luckily that I've done this route for 2 years. I know where the route's at, and we're not supposed to go door to door. We're not special needs. I drive a big bus. And it's sad that I get students that are getting on my bus with some tags. Oh, you guys got a tag? I go, I need you guys to scan this. And they're telling me, well, what is this for? I don't understand if you guys are implementing this, but yet you guys are not going to school side, telling the principal they got to talk to the students, yet you guys are throwing on the bus drivers. Last week, somebody said throw the bus drivers at 5 hours, and yet our new director, when I'm starting to read that he wants to implement your workload, ladies and gentlemen, 13 bus drivers got laid off. How much more workload? There's 80-some routes, 75 bus drivers, yet you guys want us to go back. Remember, by law, bus driver got to drive 55 miles per hour. You know, from here to the sea, we're not going to get there in 55 miles per hour. I mean, at a certain time. We know our routes. I've been out here for 22 years. It's the worst. Our department is the worst it's ever been. Everything is falling apart. We said we're going to get help from the office. There's no unity. This routing system, it's the worst that it's ever been. I mean, what's the difficulty in having a supervisor go on a route one with me? Come with me, take notes, and say, okay, do the route. You guys are spending so much money. One of the mechanics told me the one with the tablet cost him, or you guys, over $900,000 and $80,000 a year to get it fixed, and it still don't work. The first time they put in the tablet, it was so hot, it melted. And we're just wasting money, you know. And it's kind of scary that we get kids that we don't know. Thank God that we do see the badges, and sometimes the teachers or the workers that are bringing them to the bus, they're bringing to the students to the wrong bus. At CVU on the blue bus, I get an orange bus tag, I get a red bus tag. It's like, thank God that I know some of my students. I mean, there has to be a better system. You guys need to learn to step up. Mr. Esparza, you always see building champions. Build a champion before we lose a life. A life gets stolen. And thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. We have Ms. Silvia Alvarado and Marina Loera.
Yes.
So Ms. Alvarado's right here next to me. Thank you. Good evening. She's also a little bit under the weather, so she asked if I could please read her statement for her. So she has been a driver since 2007, and she is saddened to see that things aren't working the way they should. Parents are being angry at us for a system that isn't working. We always get blamed for kids being late, and parents don't understand that we follow routes and do what we are told. It's also very embarrassing when parents and teachers come up to us and ask us about the new system, and I have no answers for them. I want parents to know that we do try our best to get all the kids on time, and we go back to clear the schools, not once, not twice, but even up to 3 times. The new system is not working. We have tried other systems before, and it's been the same outcome. Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you. We have Ms. Marina Loera on 8.1, and then Patty Reyes.
Good evening. I'm Marina Loera. I'm a dispatcher at transportation. I worked here 19 years. Most of the years was as a bus driver, now as a dispatcher. I also served as an interim supervisor for a few months in transportation. And I'm kind of sad to hear some of the things that are being said about this system, because I believe very hard that we should have a system like this in place due to, again, kids being lost, getting off at the wrong stops, etc. But the system didn't start off on a good way anyways, because the information that the system got from our interim supervisors that are in there, one of them is still in there, the information was all wrong. So there's no way a system's going to work when you're feeding it the wrong information. And the only way this is going to work is if we clean it up, give our new router the opportunity to get it going the right way, and get everybody else to come together, all the different departments that it takes for something to work, because we do also need right information from SPED, from school sites, et cetera. We need all that information to be correct for something to work. So in order for something to work, you got to work as a team. And unfortunately, in transportation, we don't have that right now. And we cannot say that the new router or new management, whoever's getting a new management position, we can't say if it can create this or it can be this. We don't know what's going to create because it hasn't even happened. So give the person a chance and let them prove to you that this is why they got the position. This is why they were qualified for the position. And that's all I'm going to say. Thank you.
Thank you. We have public comment from, it says here Patty Reyes, but it says Tisha Oleg. So can you please just say your name for the record? And it's item 8.1. Say your name.
Oh, I'm Tisha Olagi, and I'm speaking on behalf of Patty Reyes because she had to leave because she gets up at 2:30 to get our kids to class on time. And I'm just going to read exactly what she wrote. She's upset that parents complain that there's no one that answers the phone from dispatch. I personally give my phone number to communicate with my parents on pickup times. Why do we have so much help in the office when it's useless? Angry parents, late students to desert sands and throughout our own district. But yet we have an expensive system in place, and for what it is worth, worthless. We have all this office help, and for what? It makes no sense to have so much helpers in the office when the help is not being given. Thank you.
Thank you. Next public comment, I have Irene Rodriguez, 4.1. Parent liaison. And then the next person is Carolina Rodriguez.
Good evening. Carolina actually had to leave, but I have Ms. Lourdes Valencia here with me. My name is Irene Rodriguez and Lourdes Valencia. We are here as concerned parents and advocate for the Oasis families. We are here tonight to strongly urge you to bring back the parent liaison position to our school, a position that is clearly included in the LCAP. This position is not a luxury. It is a necessity in the communities like ours. Our parent liaison is the trusted bridge between our school and our families, especially those who face language, cultural, or technological barriers, She made sure our parents felt seen, heard, and supported. Without her, that connection has been broken. We have personally spoken with our principal and have sent emails to every board member. Unfortunately, we have received no response. If this issue is not addressed, we will be forced to take it to the next level, which includes filing a formal complaint with the California Department of Education. This position was included in the LCAP, and we expect the district to follow through on that commitment. The families of Oasis deserve better. Our students deserve better. And we are not going to stop advocating until we get the support our community needs. Please do the right thing to reinstate our parent liaisons at every school in the district. Thank you.
Thank you. Maria Elba Ortiz, 4.1. And then after that, I have Ana Diaz.
Muy buenas noches a todos. Mi nombre es María Elba Ortiz y yo vengo apoyando a PAMView, a nuestros trabajadores de PAMView, como Esperanza, que ya tiene 18 años ahí, que nos la bajaron de puesto, que es muy eficiente en su trabajo, que ayudaba a todos nuestros padres de familia con las computadoras, con todo el papeleo que ella hacía, a Mónica, que tiene 28 años trabajando ahí en PAMView y que ya no está con nosotros. Yo los vengo apoyando a todo el personal de PAMView, que son personas trabajadoras, que no nos las bajen de puesto, que nos las regresen, porque Esperanza ahora siempre ha tenido mucho trabajo al principio de año, que llegan padres nuevos que no saben meterse al portal de padres, que no, y ella les ayudaba mucho. Ahorita pues nos la han bajado y pues queremos que nos regresen a todo nuestro personal que nos quitaron, porque las personas que están pues no están trabajando su tiempo completo y no es justo que estemos batallando con esto. Entonces, pues tenemos una lucha contra ver que nos hagan un poquito de caso a todos los padres de familia y también a todos los padres de familia que se han arrimado a mí, muchos niños que van a la high school, que son mis vecinos, que están llegando tarde a su escuela porque no hay bases. Entonces también estoy abogando porque haya bases para la high school, para la media school, porque están llegando tarde a sus clases. Me dicen que están llegando tarde porque los bases van muy retardados, no llegan a sus horas y que no hay bases como debe de haber. También por eso. Entonces, esperemos que nuestra voz se oiga con ustedes que son de la mesa directiva, que de favor regresen a todos nuestros trabajadores y que hayan muchas bases, que no nos quiten a ningún trabajador que hemos tenido por años trabajando en nuestra PAMView. Muchas gracias.
Gracias. Next speaker, we have Laura Perez, 11.3, GNC.
Good evening, Dr. Esparza, Assistant Superintendents, Madam President, and all board members. My name is Laura Perez. I am a CVTA union member, and my husband and I both work at Las Palmitas Elementary School. Tonight, I am here in support of Child Evangelism Fellowship, which is a nonprofit organization which offers an after-school faith-based program designed to provide spiritual and moral growth to our students. This club is known as the Good News Club. CEF offers a well-organized curriculum to our students where they are actively engaged in Bible-based lessons through songs, memory verses, and learning games. My husband and I have been part of CEF for 5 years now and have been sponsored teachers for the Good News Club for the past 2 years at Las Palmitas Elementary. We are volunteers. We do not get paid for this program, as the reward comes from seeing our children grow spiritually and emotionally. CVUSD students have a joy in attending and learning about the love God has for them. Similar to Joven Noble and Chisnatzli, which my husband and I both also facilitate at Las Palmitas, this club offers our students a safe space to learn and work on the emotional and spiritual aspect of their lives. We believe that if the students are happy and deal with their emotions and traumas, they seem to do better in school. We have seen this firsthand. We have seen the fruit of this labor when parents ask us as to where they can be connected to a local church within Coachella Valley. This is all due to their child sharing their positive experiences in this club. Therefore, I don't understand as to why the district charges this organization a use of facilities fees. CEF provides the curriculum, materials, snacks, and prizes for our students at the end of every club. So why impose this fee? This organization is actually helping our students. Furthermore, after every club meeting, the teachers clean their own classrooms. I know that Palm Springs and Desert Sands Unified does not charge a use of facilities fees for the hosting of this club. In closing, I respectfully ask that this use of facilities fees be lifted and waived. Thank you.
Thank you. We have, I'm sorry, Lita Stevens? I'm sorry, I think I butchered the name. Lita Stevens, GNC 11.3, sorry.
Yes. Good evening to our CVUSD Board of Trustees, our school superintendent, department heads, and all CVUSD staff. Thank you sincerely for all that you do. We are grateful for your dedication and hard work in serving our community. My name is Lida Stevens, and I have the privilege of serving as the local director of Child Evangelism Fellowship, or CEF, Coachella Valley and Morongo Basin chapter. We host an after-school program called Good News Club, a fun, nurturing, and welcoming after-school enrichment program that meets 60 to 90 minutes weekly. We have faithfully provided this program at no cost to families. Participation is entirely voluntary and requires parental registration. Through engaging stories, songs, and games, children learn lessons that foster positive character and strengthen social emotional skills. Many children have built lasting friendships and sense of belonging. They discover that God loves them, that every person has a value, that they can choose right, overcome challenges, and show love to others. The Good News Club meets pursuant to the CVUSD Use of Facilities Policy, the California Civic Center Act, and the First Amendment. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled in 2001 that school districts should provide equal treatment to the Good News Club compared to similar groups like Scouts in terms of facilities use, meeting times, and announcements. The Good News Club has served the children of CVUSD for 4 years. Last school year, we were serving 4 elementary schools, including Las Palmitas, Valle de Sol, Coral Mountain, and Mecca Elementary School, reaching about 100 children. Every club has a teacher sponsor who graciously volunteers their time to remain in the classroom during meetings. All clubs have duly approved use of facilities applications on file. CF covers the use of facilities fees charged by the district at the end of each school year. On March 11, our weekly club meetings were halted due to the absence of MOU. Following communications between our legal counsel and Dr. Monica Makiewicz, Assistant Superintendent for HR, the clubs were allowed to resume on March 31st, with the agreement that we could finish the school year while working towards establishing an MOU moving forward. The Good News Club respectfully appeals to the Board of Trustees and to our superintendent approval of MOU and allow the Good News Club to resume its normal operations so we could continue serving the children and families of CVUSD elementary schools. Thank you for the privilege of partnership in serving our community.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Shannon Cobell and Brenda Cortez Grimaldi. Shannon Cobell, I think she's here. And then Brenda Cortez, comment? Okay. Yeah, sure.
Good evening, everyone.
I'm sorry, just want staff to note on the last public comment. Yeah.
So in the contract, can you hear me?
Yes.
In the contract, in the MOU that was created between the district and the Good News Club, it says that your fees are waived in the contract. If you read it, it's at the end of the contract. Your facilities use fee is waived. So it's under section number 4 at the end of the contract, right before the attorney and the HR assistant soup signed it.
Okay.
Just wanted to make that clear.
Ms. Cobell, and then Ms. Okay. Do you
Well,
still want to
that's-
provide public comment?
No, I am just here to represent the Good News Club. And so, good evening, everyone. I'm so thankful that you care about your community and Coachella Valley Unified Children. This is a fantastic club. I've been involved for over 5 years, and it brings the best club environment to your schools. It's free. The kids love it. The families love it. The kids know how much they're loved, how important they are. They learn to be kind to others, to be respectful. The teachers report back that the kids are doing much better in school through these clubs because they're learning to get along with each other. They're learning the love of the Lord and how important they are, their families are, the community is, and it is a positive, enriching club. So every school should have this club. It's in Desert Sands Unified and Palm Springs Unified presently. And so I can't wait for it to be in the Coachella Valley also. So I'm here to support the approval of the MOU for this school year. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Last public comment, Brenda Cortez Grimaldi.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and school district board of trustees and everyone else that is present at this moment. My name is Brenda Grimaldi, and as a by the soul sponsored teacher and community member, I am here tonight to wholeheartedly support the approval of the Good News Club as an after-school program in our district's elementary schools. This faith-based Christian club, sponsored by Child Evangelism Fellowship, which I must remark is a nonprofit faith-based organization, offers a wonderful opportunity for our children to grow in meaningful ways, and I urge you to grant it equal access to our school facilities. And I am actually happy to hear that the facility fees are going to be waived. I also would like to request that the informational flyers could be approved so that we can promote the club in our schools. For those unfamiliar with the Good News Club, it's a voluntary after-school program designed for children ages 5 to 12. It meets once a week for about an hour and a half, featuring engaging Bible lessons, fun songs, scripture memory activities, mission stories, and interactive games, all centered on timeless Christian values like kindness, honesty, and respect. Importantly, this club operates entirely outside school hours with no cost to the district, and participation is open only to students with parental permission. It doesn't disrupt the school day or curriculum. Instead, it provides a safe, supervised space where kids can build character and community. Legally approving the Good News Club aligns perfectly well with federal law. The Equal Access Act of 1984 ensures that if our schools allow other non-curricular clubs like chess or Rubik's Cube Club to use facilities after hours, religious clubs, or I should say faith-based clubs, must receive the same access. This was affirmed by the U.S. Supreme Court in the landmark 2001 case Good News Club versus Milford Central School, which ruled that denying such access violates students' free speech rights and it doesn't endorse religion in a public school setting. Our district has already hosted similar community programs, so extending this opportunity to the Good News Club upholds fairness and equally for all viewpoints. Beyond compliance, the benefits to our students are profound. Studies and testimonials show that programs like this foster moral development, improve social skills, and even support academic success by instilling values that promote focus and resilience. And I am thankful and blessed to have been hosting the Good News Club for the past 3 years at Valle del Sol because it equips our kids with tools to navigate with life's challenges with hope and integrity. And we also want to request that,
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you have a written comment, you can provide it and then they can share it for us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. We're going to move on to 7.1. Thank you to everyone who provided public comment tonight. Written communication, we did receive a number of them that will be entering them into the public record, and then we'll be sharing them for all board members. There were a number of them on the repeated public comments that were already provided. We're going to move on to 7.2, student board member report. We don't have a student board member. Hopefully we can bring back our student board members in October. 7.3, board member reports, board requests for future board meetings. Mr. Acuna, would you like to? Okay. Trustee Arredondo?
Thank you, everybody here. Thank you for your public comments. We definitely always want the public to come and feel free to talk to us and share with us the things that are happening, the great things that are happening, and the things that we need to work on. And we do thank you for that. I myself have started visiting school sites and have seen, we're getting there, right? There is some stuff that needs to get done. I know that, our fields need some help. I know that our parking lots need some striping. I know that, we're going to get there, and those are things that we're looking at. But really, the most important thing, too, is to just work together. If there's something that needs to happen at your school site, please communicate with the proper staff. And if, has to, definitely, always feel free to communicate with the board as well. I thank everybody here once again, and hope everybody has a good evening. Thank you.
Trustee Gonzalez? Trustee Calamanes, would you like to provide a report if you have anything to share on, activities you participated, or you could also,
Let's do that for the next board meeting.
Sounds good. Or any remarks? I'm like, it's your first meeting. Yeah. Trustee Garcia, Clerk Garcia?
Thank you. Thank you to everyone who came and spoke to us. We so thank you. We know that every single one of you who work with our students are important. And I know we've gotten a lot of feedback about the rocky patches that have happened these first few weeks of school. It sounds like we have a plan to work through them. We're so happy that our employees are working with us to work through them. Every time I've heard of an issue, I've also heard of staff stepping up, and that's so important, because ultimately our students and community are who we need to serve. And every single time I've heard of an issue, I've also heard of people filling in the gaps, making sure things are happening for our students and families, and I'm so grateful for that. We do need to hear, just as others have said, when things aren't working. Again, it sounds like we're working through them. We're going to need to continue to work through them. I want to hear what these plans are. We're going to have presentations for things, and we're going to have to see. If things aren't working, we're going to need to go back to the drawing table. But 2.5 weeks into school, I want to give it a little bit of time, and let's see what's gonna work and what's not going to. But I'm so happy to hear all feedback, everything. We need you all, and we're all here for the same reasons, our students and families. So thank you to everyone. It's been beautiful to see our students and families back at schools. So happy to see that unity come together again every time I drop my son off. So exciting to see the little ones just be excited to be back in school. So every single one of you is important, and we're working through this. So thank you. That ends my report.
Vice President Tortes?
Thank you, Madam President. I have a couple things, and I just want to reiterate what I say, at every meeting. I'm a parent first. My kids have gone through the Coachella Valley School. I've been there 12 years. And I just want to talk about, when you're talking about accountability, that I always talk about the School Accountability Report Card. It's a website through the California Department of Education. It's always accessible. Just Google it, look it up. It talks about all the schools. It talks about our scores. It talks about how they're changing ever since the pandemic. In 2020 and 2021, when the pandemic hit, the federal government and California gave Coachella Valley millions of dollars during the pandemic. And that's what started all of these financial problems that we're talking about for the last, since I've been here, 6 months, reminding everybody I was elected because no one ran for the position that I'm in. I'm here. I only needed one vote to get here. So I'm here, 6 months as a parent, as a school board second. So accountability, look up that school accountability report card and learn about Coachella Valley. Even though Coachella Valley is not going to, this report card is not going to talk about what, I admire the people that came up and the staff and the parents talk about, for instance, the transportation today. This accountability report doesn't talk about that. That's why the board is here. That's why I'm here to hear this stuff from the people about transportation. Mainly because I hear what you're saying. 12 years have gone by. My kids have gone to the school. 12 years, my son was in kindergarten and was lost on the bus. We were waiting for him, and he never came home. So I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like when my daughter left school in first grade, and she wasn't riding a bus at the time, but the bus driver, somebody, the teacher, somebody, let her get on a bus with their friend and go to Mountain View Estates. We didn't know that. So we were looking all over for them. We know what it's like to lose a child like that. We know what it feels like. 12 years. And has anything changed? It doesn't sound like it because, kids are still getting lost. I remember the feeling. And I don't know if systems have changed. Maybe we need to find a system that can work with the people that are driving the buses and the teachers and the badges. But I'm just saying, 12 years is a long time for this system not to work. And I've been here 6 months. I want to see the change. I'm glad that people come up to talk about this. I want to hear more about making this change. Thank you.
Thank you. For myself, I really appreciate all the comments tonight, public comment around, our transportation challenges. I know we have a presentation later tonight, so I'm looking forward to hear. I'm sorry?
We have a.
I apologize, but we've already moved on to another item. Would you mind if you like to speak to Mr. Angulo here? Okay. Yeah, so just, to straight to the point, the last, as we started school, we did receive, I received a number of calls from parents. I'm sure other trustees also received calls from parents regarding transportation. And so I'm just looking forward to the presentation and, the feedback from staff tonight. It's really insightful to kind of hear from their perspective as well. And then, hoping that we can work together to find some ways to improve and make those changes. 7.4, Superintendent's Report.
So just wanted to announce that schools across the district are hosting back-to-school nights currently. They started last week, and we do know that we're having the Title I meetings with strong family turnouts. And so we want to ask our parents and staff to participate in school site council and in your ELAC elections. They're underway right now, so parents, please participate in being that voice at the school site, not just here at the board meeting, but at the school site. You'll get firsthand information if you're on school site council or on the EL committee there at the school site. You'll get firsthand information on what happens with the funding that is given to the school site, what is done, what supports do the students receive. And so it's important to be a part of all of that, a part of your community. So please join School Site Council or the ELAC committee at your child's school site. I just want to announce that sites including Mecca, Mountain Vista, Oasis, Palmview, and Peter Pendleton's recently held attendance workshops. They're really working hard on 100% attendance at each and every one of those schools. We would love that across the district. Parents, please send us your children. We need them in our schools. We want them. We want to see their smiling faces. I was so happy to be able to be at North Shore Elementary for the first day of school and to welcome all those tiny little kids from the elementary, from the kindergarten classes, all the way up to our 5th grade, 6th grade students, still tiny kids, and just making sure that we're providing everything that they need. We know that there are some people in the audience who have made comments about some of the things that are needed, and those are things that we're going to look at. Those are the operational pieces, but know that each and every one of those students at North Shore has an amazing teacher that's with their open arms, ready to teach the students, and we're so happy that we were able to open that school this year. We also thank Alyssa Gentry for that, taking that leadership role at North Shore Elementary and always being available for our families, again, for our staff. And so if you haven't seen North Shore, please drop by, go and see that beautiful, amazing school. It's a beautiful campus in the North Shore area. I also want to announce that we're so happy that so far we've been able to have 14 of our schools pass compliance with the Williams Act review. We have 8 more scheduled for next week, and we're ensuring access that every teacher and student has the materials and the workable facilities and the credentials needed in order to be able for us to be in education. And so we've been doing a really good job with our audit with the Williams, and so we're really happy about that. I do want to also just give staff and student recognition to a Valley View teacher, Mr. Magana, who was honored for his work with Kidwin. And at Toro Canyon Middle School, they're honoring 67 students who achieved fluent English proficiency this past year. And that's my report.
Okay, we
Madam
can.
President?
Yes.
Can we allow the parent to make their public comment?
We did move on to, I'm sorry, I just feel like that there are a number of written comments as well, and so can we provide maybe her, I mean, I'd be happy to provide our contact information and we can follow up with her. So now we have another individual with. Okay. So maybe what we can have is a staff follow up with you. I know that there is a presentation 8.1 that pertains to transportation, and then maybe we can have, it sounds like it's an individual need. Yes, so we can provide, we can have staff follow up with you so that we can move on. I think, so I understand, we have a process, so if I understand, it's just that we do have a process that we need to follow, and so we've closed the item and we need to move on with our agenda. And so so we provided and we followed the law that is required to provide the space for the public comment. And so if we allow, so what we will love to address what you need, and so we can have staff follow up with you. So what we can, I understand, but once we allow. What, did she provide her information?
It was submitted online, but I also have advised that each item has 20-minute allotment, and there was 7 individuals that spoke the 3 minutes, and that took up the item.
And I also have.
I have the notes.
So what's the, in terms of order, we go back to public comment? Okay, can you please fill out the sheet? Yeah, okay.
President, you have to follow process, right? There's 20 minutes already spoken on this matter. I don't know why we're discussing it. With all due respect.
And, because then it's just that we do have to follow the law, and so, exactly. Can we have, please, staff be ready on 8.1? We'll provide the space for the individual to provide public comment. Can you please state your name and what item, and then, yeah.
I'm here on behalf of the families living in Las Serenas and the village homes in Mecca. We had a second bus stop that they removed this year. We are here to request that second bus stop to come back. We have children as young as kindergartens walking 21 minutes to get to the bus stop. Yes, you told us that there's a radius, but that radius doesn't count. I printed out the map that how much our kids have to walk. It's 21 minutes that they have to walk to get to the bus stop. There's stray animals. There's people that can get our kids. Some of these kids, their families can't walk them. They work. Even if we have parents, some of these parents don't know how to drive. They can't walk their kids to the bus stop. If you guys at this bus stop, it's going to improve our attendance. It's going to be safe for our kids. Our children, some as young as kindergarten, are walking up to 21 minutes just to reach the current stop, often alone because married parents are working. This long walk exposes them to extreme weather, stray animals, and unnecessary safety risks. We've gathered community support and signatures from neighbors who share these concerns. Adding this stop will keep our children safe, help working families, and improve school attendance. We respectfully urge you to take action. Please act now to protect our children and ensure they can get to school safely. And I have the map of how far our kids have to walk. It's more than a mile.
If you could please provide that to staff.
Yes.
And then,
Thank you so much.
once the presentation's over, someone can follow up with you and maybe help you with it.
I have a question before you
Yes.
leave. Have you brought this to staff's attention? Have you walked into here and spoke to the superintendent's office of?
I came to the office on Friday.
Okay.
I brought this in. They stamped it for me as received. They were going to have the lady that's in charge of it talk to me, but she was on a phone call. So they said she would get back to me, and they took my phone number, but I haven't received the call back.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we need to take care of it.
Thank you. I appreciate
Do you
you.
know what office you went to?
I came to the office right there in the front with the lobby.
Okay. If you could please just maybe join us for the presentation, and
Yeah,
then
that's
someone
fine.
can follow up with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. 8.1, very timely, transportation informational update. Yes.
So good evening, President Vargas and members of the school board, Superintendent Dr. Esparza, Executive Cabinet, and community members. My name is Cindy Maldonado. I'm the Director of Classified Human Resources. For the past year, I have been supporting in the Transportation Department in ensuring we implement systems with fidelity and align them with district goals. This presentation will give you a quick update on where we stand, the improvements we've made, and how we're addressing the longstanding transportation concerns.
Could you introduce the other folks with you? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, sorry.
Thank you.
It'll be throughout
Oh, okay.
my presentation.
Sorry, thank you.
All right, so our district covers a large area of about 1,200 square miles.
The presentation's not on the screen.
So I see it.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys see it on your
I guess if
screens
it's,
or
it's up
no?
on your, it's not on our
It's
screen.
not on our
but-
screens.
Oh, okay. I'll wait until you guys can see what I'm.
I mean, I think we're okay if
You
they're
sure?
able to see
Okay.
it. Is that okay? Okay.
All right, so
Okay,
each
thank
day.
you.
You guys good?
Thank you, yes.
Okay. So each day we transport approximately 3,900 students. This consists of approximately transporting 3,500 general education students on 59 routes and 320 special education students on 27 routes. In addition, we also provide service to approximately 80 students attending schools in Desert Sands Unified School District, Shirako, and county programs. In 2022, CVUSD partnered with PTI to audit, review, and implement procedures to improve our transportation services. Their recommendations included department restructuring, which consisted of job description revisions and hiring of key positions outlined in the restructuring plan, implementing a routing system, and strengthening staff accountability. The district has hired Mr. Michael Martinez as our new transportation director. He brings an extensive knowledge of transportation operations, routing, and the many complex responsibilities that come with managing a large department. Other staffing additions to the department include the addition of our fleet services coordinator, Mr. Michael Williams, and the addition of our accounting assistant one, Ms. Vanessa Mejia. And both of these employees will assist in streamlining processes and assist with internal auditing measures. Recently, we launched our busology routing system, which allows students to scan on and off buses while giving the parents the ability to track their students' bus in real time. The department is working towards making staff accountability a top priority. To improve communications with stakeholders, we've launched a dedicated help desk line and a monitored email account to ensure that we are providing a timely response to parent inquiries and concerns. Additionally, the department management is currently working closely with HR to monitor attendance and ensure fidelity to our new routing system that we are implementing. Staff are receiving the necessary support and training that they need to be successful so that the system works the way it is intended and families receive the best possible service. So now I would like you to introduce you to the team that's standing with me. I'll first introduce Mr. Michael Martinez, who is our new Director of Transportation.
Good evening, board members, President, Superintendent. This is my second board meeting and actually my first time standing before you and speaking to you. I am very grateful for the opportunity to be the new director here for Coachella Valley Unified School District. A little history on myself. I have been involved exclusively in school busing for the past 31 years. In that time frame, I have worked both as a role on the bus contractor side and with the school district managing exclusively school bus transportation. I have been involved in 3 platforms as far as digital routing platforms during my time as being a supervisor and coordinator for the various districts that I have been a part of, and also with implementing an RFID system along with 2 parent apps in my previous district before coming here. I've had extensive background in the recreating and building of these systems to make them successful in the rollout. And so coming here, it's not something that is new to me. The platform, I have not worked with this one specifically, so I am learning the ins and outs of it so that we can get it up and functioning correctly. And I understand the priorities and the essentialness for getting these communications out to our school sites, yourselves, and the parents. And that is my top priority, to get this worked on and get it rolling out. I am dedicated to seeing this go through, as well as supporting my staff. This is not a one-man operation. This is a team operation that consists of the drivers and attendants, dispatching staff, routing staff to work together, to come together to get it going. And we have been working intensely on that since the beginning of the school. And we continue to work on it daily to get the improvements and get the information out to our parents, stakeholders, and sites. At this time, I would like to turn the presentation over to my cohorts, Danny and Ms. Maria Selena, to go over additional details on our services.
Good evening, Board President Jocelyn Vargas, board members, Superintendent Dr. Esparza, and Executive Cabinet. My name is Danny Miranda. I have the pleasure of currently serving as the interim routing coordinator, and tonight I wish to touch up on the benefits of the software system, busology. The routing system allows us to create routes and optimize them. It also provides us with real-time visibility of the bus locations and administrators at school sites can also see the location of said buses, and also the student ridership and attendance. It allows us to track and record student ridership for improved safety and accountability. One of the benefits that we have seen in the optimization of routes is North Shore was in need of a bus. We were able to look where we could condense routes and put more students in a bus, and we were successfully able to bring in a fourth bus to North Shore, as you can see now in this lineup, that they now have a fourth bus.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Maria Selene. I am the Public Information Officer for CVUSD. Today, I will be talking a little bit more about VFI, the Parent tab. So Busology is the platform. VFI is the way that parents can access this information and see when their students log in, step into the bus and then get out of the bus. First off, for credentials, all credentials were sent to the parent email address listed on Aries. So if you have any problems or haven't received that email, please make sure that your primary email is listed in Aries and that you have access to it. Additionally, the next step is to download the VFI Parent app and sign in. Once you go ahead and do that, there's two different applications. One of them is through Apple iOS, and the second one is through Google Play, which is Android. We were working with Busology because there was problems with the Android application. It has now been updated and it's fully accessible. Additionally, though, on our website with all the Busology information, we added a website login, so if any parent wants to use a tablet or a laptop, they can also access the platform that way. And when students get on the bus and off the bus, it's very, very important that they actually scan the card. Otherwise, parents will not receive the most accurate information. And some features of the app include viewing multiple student profiles, checking the assigned routes, and bus stops. Going on to the next slide. So this is more information about the contact information. Like Cindy had just mentioned, we wanted to better support our parents and community. So we created a help desk line available from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. The main office line is available from 5 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Our email address is businfo@cvusd. Also, we're trying to push out responses within 24 hours. And like I previously mentioned, we have a website with all this information so that parents can access and refer to. Thank you. And does the board have any questions?
Yeah, do board members have any questions?
I do.
Okay, where do we start? We'll give Ms.
Great.
Hamanes.
The question I have is, we've heard from a number of parents who said that they haven't been able to access any of this information yet. Does the help desk line provide dual language, step-by-step information on how to download this and access it and what to do with it? Or is the help desk line for some other purpose?
Well, the help desk line is pretty much for everything. We do get calls in regards to getting assistance for the application. We do provide it in both English and Spanish, depending on the needs of the caller that's coming in. A lot of the calls coming in right now are mainly for ETAs for buses coming into their stop, whether it be the morning or the afternoon, but those calls do come in through there, and we do assist them with that. Some of the individual needs are one-on-one, because some it's a technical issue, some has to do with the information in Aries, so we kind of troubleshoot with them when they call in with those challenges. Yes. Parent Square.
Other questions, Ms. Calmanes? Trustee Arredondo? No. Okay, Trustee Gonzalez?
He said yes.
Okay. Anybody want to go? Okay, Trustee Arredondo, can you please just go so we can move on?
Just a couple of questions. Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Thank you for the job that you're doing. Just out of curiosity, because a lot of the parents talked about how they haven't been able to get on it, and just with your experience in 3 platforms, did we choose the correct app here at Coachella Valley Unified School District, in your opinion?
It's difficult for me to say, and because this is the first platform that I haven't been involved from the initial conception, what the thought process, what the ask was. when the vendor was chosen for this. So I really can't say, and I'm going from my experience, this is a little different from any of the other two that I have had experience with before. There's a couple of challenges, but some of that's on my end because I'm not familiar with how the original conception was and how their operational system works. And I go, it is a little bit challenging, but I'm trying to get familiarized so that we can address the issues that are coming in.
So this app is up and working?
It is up. I cannot say that it's working for everyone because we're going through testing. And parents are calling in, giving us different scenarios, and some of the situations are unique, and I can't say that it's universally across the board for everyone.
Thank you. That's all I have for now.
Okay. Trustee Gonzalez. All right. It sounds like we're getting such different information, right? So this sounds like from this presentation that in a perfect world, if every single thing is working correctly, it should work. But this is a brand new program. We have schools where our parents are used to having specific staff that they can go to for help, our parent liaisons, all these things. So they're in a state of shock already because their go-to people are gone. I saw, as a parent, I did receive this via email. I see it in English, and it might be because my language is chosen as English, but I don't see it in Spanish. I hope it's being sent out in Spanish as well. I'm just really conflicted because I don't know if there's a day that's gone by that I haven't heard from someone complaining about something going wrong with our programming, and I just want to make sure, do you have what you need to fix it? Because it doesn't sound like it's working perfectly. Do you have what you need to fix it?
We are delving into all the weeds and addressing all the issues. We address one issue, and then a different one comes up as we're in the process of going through and correcting it. Part of the challenges is not being part of the initial rollout, the implementation, kind of piecing the informations together to make it function correctly. Like some of the points that Danny has been pointing out, we have to delve into the actual software components, and they're the backbone of it, so to speak, to make sure all the pieces are connecting so that the output comes out correctly. So that's our main focus right now, so that the output that the parents are getting is exactly what we have to work for. We do have typically, and I'm going twice a week meetings with the busology, and I'm going and Danny to go over with them as we're encountering these issues to get them fixed so that we can take the next incremental step forward. It is the platform that we are using, and we're trying to iron out those situations and iron out the situation on the information that's coming for the drivers and the routes. So as of right now, what we have, I think it's good and it's based there, but it's us getting the understanding, me getting the understanding of how that pieces came together to make it do what I need it to do, so that it's beneficial for the parents and also for the drivers. So I want to make that link so that it's there. We got the building portions of it in there, just need to keep pushing it through so that we can get it out and have the full implementation the way that it was intended to be.
Sorry, I still had a little bit more.
Yes.
So, I mean, you heard 1,200 square miles. Our precious cargo is with you. When things go wrong, it can go so wrong. And it sounds like the tags that the students have, at least there's enough information there, and I'm glad to hear that, even if the RFID isn't working yet. What do you think is a realistic timeline for this to really work? Because our students are in session, families work. We had a huge group of families come here and talk about their issues, but not everyone has that luxury. I'm sure they even had a difficult time waiting for us. What is a realistic timeline for this to be even 90% ironed out?
Well, at this time, I couldn't give you a specific timeline because we're working. We do have students that are in there and parents are successfully able to track. And I want a couple who we'd even spoken to this afternoon before we even came over to see and walk the parent through and make sure they're seeing what we're seeing on our end. But I haven't done that to everyone. So I know it's still there. We are pushing to get it because I know we're already 2.5 weeks into school. The expectation that it is be there, but we are pushing our way through it to get it and get the information there for the parents. I know it is working for some. Exact numbers, I can try and give you what it is that we've accomplished so far from the riders that we have, so you know what progress we have been making with it to show that it is functioning the way that it's supposed to. But I'm very hesitant on giving you a timeline because I don't want to give you one and tell you I'm going to have it ready by Wednesday of next week, and I don't hit it. We wanted to make sure we got the notifications pushed out, which we got successfully implemented for this week to get it going so that their sign-ons and logins to help eliminate some of those issues. A lot of them were initially happening by getting the assistance from IT and making sure the information in areas is in there correct. So we hit that now. We're trying to work on the connectivity so that the parents see what we're seeing.
Dr. Esparza, you had a comment? Are you done?
Just one last thing. So for the app then, it sounds like maybe some parents don't know about the app. Do we need a parent meeting for that? I know we had a short parent meeting for attendance, which I think is beautiful. Do we need one specifically for this app at each school site? I mean, please ask us for what we need to make sure that our parents are getting what they need at this very early onset, right? This is very new to everybody.
Well, we could, because it's not a bad idea to do that. I know we are looking on putting one together to resend it out to the admins to show them so they can use what their abilities would be with the software. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to incorporate one for the parents.
And there is videos online in English and in Spanish to walk the parents through on how to use it as well.
Sorry, are you? Sorry.
Thank you.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Thank you, Madam President. Mr. Martinez, thank you for the work that you're doing. Thanks, staff, for the work that you're doing. I know you're working under tough conditions, and I want to talk about what those conditions are. I believe the average temperature since we started school is well over 110 degrees, and it wasn't until this past week or the beginning of this week that it got a little better for us. The humidity went away. We were at 110, 115 degrees with 80, 90% humidity. That's not a very desirable temperature for anybody to be outside, especially a young child, right?
Yes.
You've been doing this type of work, you said, for 35 years?
31.
31 years. Mr. Martinez, and you obviously have a challenge here. We have large geographical area, a lot of square miles. But I want to ask you something. Have you ever seen this level of chronic absenteeism in a staff of bus drivers?
This is unique, to say the least, yes.
Can you share with us how many bus drivers didn't come to work after being off the whole year? How many didn't come to work the first day of school?
Well, the first day of school, I had maybe about a handful. I had 5 on the first day of school.
I'm sorry?
I had about 5.
You had about 5?
Yes, I had other ones who were on long-term who, we had to make, we had to cover up their service because they're off on long leaves and things of that sort.
Am I incorrect that you had 32 bus drivers off out of 70 some? You had 32 off the first day of school?
For the first day of school?
Yes.
I don't think it was that high, no.
No. What is when you think of how many bus drivers are not coming to work since we started school? What's the average bus drivers off?
Average, I would say, since the first day of school, because if we're taking all the days together, it goes probably looking at about maybe between 14 and 15 drivers.
Okay. Well, I got some data that conflicts with what you're saying. Maybe you need to look at it, and maybe that could be part of the challenge, right? That people ain't coming to work for whatever reason. But I asked the question: is it normal in a staff of 70, 80 drivers to have a third of them off the first day of school?
No.
Have you seen that before?
That I have not. The only time that I've had a situation in my experience where I've been short the number of drivers has been through driver attrition, drivers who have left for other employment, and not having enough drivers to start the first day of school.
But you've never seen unannounced, not showing, last minute, I'm not going to work type of stuff?
No, most of the times that I've had a large deficiency of drivers has been due to just basically driver shortage.
I have another question for you. before we started the school year, right?
Yes.
You've been with us for how many months?
1.
Okay, 1 month. So, but before you started the school year, I would imagine that your predecessor or somebody was responsible to make sure that systems were in place so that we didn't have, I just heard Mr. Torta said that he lost his son almost at the same location 20 years ago, right? So somebody's responsible for how we're managing that department, right? And somebody must have been tasked with getting this information in order so that our community knew, the children knew a little bit about the bus routes, right?
That's correct.
Was there a person?
Well, there was 2 people who, when I came in, were working on the assembly and assigning of the routes and the stops.
When you looked into the work that was being done, did they do their job?
Based from what I had seen, we had routes that were built, stops that were assigned that were accounted for from last year. There were some consolidations that were done based on the reduction of the workforce that we have. So some runs had to have been eliminated. What I was reviewing with them was trying to ensure those stops that were on the runs that we were consolidating were all accounted for. I did ask as far as procedure-wise on what our district protocol is in regards to releasing students, most especially in regards to kinders. There's usually a grade, not a grade limit, there's usually an age limit on who is supposed to be the authorized person to be there to receive the students.
Ms. Martinez, I'm not speaking to the work that you're trying to do at the 11th hour, right? Because obviously we're at a challenge trying to get this all resolved. My question to you is, was there a person that was tasked with the responsibility, an existing employee that was supposed to get this system ready before we started school?
Yes.
Okay, did they do their job?
No. I'll
That's
answer
right.
that because I think because he's only been here for a month, I think he's feeling the pressure. No, they didn't. And that's why we have the other gentleman there.
The concern that I have is that it's very difficult, it's even hard, right, to take on a new system. I know that many years ago, when I first got here, we put laptops so that we knew where the buses were. And somehow they were accidentally falling on the floor. They had to be being kicked off, right? and I don't know what the purpose was, but if we don't have cooperation from staff, and if everybody isn't worried about the health, safety, and welfare of our children, your challenge is gonna be even more complicated. And I think that's what we're experiencing here, right?
Yes, I know it is challenging. There is a missing component, like how you said, on an extra assurance for our riders, especially our young riders. Without the tablet system that you're referring to, the tablet system does give the driver an immediate access to student information for verification. I know, and that is something that is not on there. I know we do have the RFID card system. I go, before tablets were even implemented.
Mr. Martinez, look, man, I'm not looking for explanation or answer on how you're doing to fix this.
Yes.
But I'm simply for the record stating that I think we could do better, right? Our employees could do better.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'd like to just comment that I do believe there was over 30 people absent from the transportation department.
I remember 34 on the first day.
On the first day of school, but that included bus drivers, monitors, dispatchers, mechanics. So there's a group of people, but the average is about between 15 and 20 every day.
Thank you. Something else?
I'm done. Thank you.
Mr. Trustee Acuna? We have President, Vice President.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you just for reiterating that I spoke earlier and said that 12 years ago when my son in the kindergarten was lost, right? It wasn't my fault, even though we were to blame. We put our son on the bus, he didn't come home. It took them hours, and today, when we call with this app, I don't want to call on the phone and hear, you've reached CVUSD, our menu has changed, please listen carefully. My son's lost. We want to be able to find your child immediately and where he's at. So, and I live in a community that has little to no internet. So if the tags, is that the backup? What is the backup system that works for a parent to find their child even though it's, not the parents' fault that the school loses our children, because like I said, it's still happening today, 12 years later. Whose fault is it? No one says. We're just getting the complaints that this is not working, that's not working. But the system you're bringing, how do parents resolve that immediately? I mean, they need to find their child with little to no internet.
No, that is true. And without access to the app, that is the hugest challenge, other than trying to call us so that we can start reaching out to the drivers to find out. If the student does have a tag and they swiped in, even though the parent doesn't have access to the app, we would be able to pull them up and verify what bus that they were on from, from the system from our end. But I know that if the parent doesn't have the access, they don't have the ability to see it, and they would rely on having to call us so that we can search for the student.
So that's what I'm saying. If is there a hotline that when they call, they're going to actually be able to talk to a person and not a machine?
Well, the help desk hotline is assigned, and it's a cell phone, and it's carried on with the staff, whoever it is are going there in that time frame. I have it on there for the morning. I pass it on to the individual staff depending if I need to step away so that somebody has it with them. Danny has also assisted with that, as long as with our other coordinator and our dispatchers, or the trainers, depending who needs to have it. I make sure that it's in somebody's hands and they are available to answer it.
Very good, very good. Yeah, and then to add to, Jesus's point was, it's probably off the topic here, but just for FYI, we did get a report that 106 employees called off on the first day of school and 98 on the second day. Mm-hmm. So I thought someone was going to talk today about the students are important, right? But obviously not when that many people call off on the first and second day. But thank you.
Trustee Arredondo?
Thank you, Mr. Martinez, for the information. This is my, I think, 6th year as a board member, and, for 4 years, we're talking about another program that never got off the ground. And my hope as a board member is if this is not our program either, because when technology fails, unfortunately, on the other side, kids are left there at the bus stops. And I just hope that if this is not our app that we need to have, that we're able to pivot to something else, even if it's going back to pen and paper and figuring out routes. Because this is supposed to be, better for the information. And like I said, for 4 or 5 years, we had another app that never worked.
Yes.
So I hope that we can at least have conversations about this.
So,
I'm not here to blame anybody because, like I said, I don't know about this app. My daughter does not ride the bus, so it's not. But I'm hearing the parents that are really worried about their kids. So if we could, thank you.
Trustee Calamanos, and then Trustee Acuna.
Just a quick clarification question. Did you say before that parents, that you see different, when they swipe and things, you may see different information on your system than the parents see on their application that they've downloaded, that they may not, that it isn't synced properly, or did I mishear that?
No, well, like some of the parents have called in saying they can't see their student on the app, and so we look into it from our lens and see it in there, and then we try to troubleshoot with them to find out why it's that they're not seeing what we're seeing, because we can replicate the parent app titles on our software to see what they're seeing. If they're not seeing that, then we try to backtrace and see, okay, well, how did you enter the information in to try and get them in sync?
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
And let me clarify that. So the person that was responsible for putting all the information into the system so that the parents' information would be accurate, the students' information would be accurate, is no longer with us. That's why we have somebody here that's been on that position for 2.5 weeks. That's why he's only been here for a month, because we've had people that haven't been doing their job, and that we've purchased this system. We've known since March that we're going to implement this system, and that's the fidelity to the work that has not been done by some staff members that are no longer here with us.
Trustee Acuna?
I wasn't going to comment because it's just what it is, but here's the bottom line, and I'll just address parents for the meantime. We had a program, the rollout sucked, and now we're paying the price for it. As a board member, I'm not going to speak for my colleagues. I never try to do that. I am responsible to make sure that this program works. My fault. My job is now to make sure the superintendent works with our new people that are there to try to implement this situation. The app is an app. You can buy any app. It's the implementation of the app, the information you put into the app, how the app is due. Does one person use it? Does one person not? You as a parent, you don't care about none of that stuff. And again, as Mr. Torta said, he's not the only one. My son went through CVUSD district since he was in kindergarten all the way till he graduated from high school. I understand that as a parent. But, I mean, for me to sit up here and start saying who, what, where, no, my responsibility. So I'd say that to the parents. My responsibility, I should be held accountable. My job is now to make sure that the superintendent, given her direction, which she has done, we're working on the problem. We need to fix it. I apologize on behalf of myself for making this mess that, again, we knew from last March or whenever we did this thing. And again, whether you have an Apple, an Android, it's the app, it's how you implement it, it's how you use it. I think as a parent, one of my biggest things that got me angry was we'd stand up here and we talk about all this stuff, and nobody said, I'm sorry to the parents, we messed up, we're gonna try to do better. That's what I'm gonna do right now, and that's it. No more who, what, we're working on it, we're gonna fix it. We know who the players are. We have a new director of transportation who's been here a month, who's trying to politely explain what's going on without throwing anybody under the bus or saying anything bad. I appreciate you trying to do that. You have a job to do now. We will hold you guys accountable for what happens from here to there. But again, parents, our fault, our bad, we're going to try to do better. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for those comments. I feel like, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's our parents, it's our students who are impacted greatly by, you know, the rollout, right? And it's unfortunate, and I would hope that we can, you know, work on all of this together. At the end of the day, we don't want anyone's kid, you know, lost somewhere. I did have a question, because, you know, I think the comments being made are, you know, are we ready to jump on another app? And I'm not sure that I'm personally there yet, but I do want us to identify kind of the areas of that, like where are the challenges and how do we start addressing them? So one of the comments that I was thinking, do we have access to a dashboard? Are we able to see what school sites, what bus routes, what individuals are not swiping? Like what, do we have metrics to identify, okay, North Shore Elementary, 50% of the students are not swiping. Okay, do we need to do a workshop with parents? Do we need to do some sort of training with the staff? I think utilizing a dashboard that gives us that information will really help inform some of the interventions that we really have to do. I think the need is like immediate, so the more we're able to identify clearly what those strategies can be, then the quicker we can do those interventions.
Yes. Ms. Vargas, I have a final comment. To Mr. Acuña's point, software is software, right? Yeah. And obviously not something that you've seen, Mr. Martinez, but I've done a little bit of research on that software. It's pretty solid. The problem is we're not going to fix how it's being implemented on the dais. I mean, obviously these people, they're experts. That's what they do every day. I'm going to trust our superintendent that they're going to get their hands around this work that wasn't done since back in March, right? And so we're trying to figure out what's going on now. We're obviously in a situation that's not something to be proud of, but like Mr. Acuña said, I think we need to apologize to the parents. We need to get our hands around it, and rather than sit here and me ask you questions about your software, you know what you need to do, right? Yes. And that's what we got to do.
Okay. So we're going to move on. Thank you so much for the presentation, and we're going to move on to 8.2. Thank you. And we can follow up with the parents in the back regarding their concern on transportation. So we have Julie Vigil, presentation and approval of the fiscal year 2024-25 unaudited actuals financial report.
Why is this long presentation? Okay. Good evening, President Vargas, members of the board, trustees, superintendent, cabinet, staff, and members of our community. This evening, I'm pleased to present the 24-25 unaudited actuals, which provide a comprehensive year-end summary for the district's revenue and expenditures.
Tonight's presentation will cover a summary of fund balances, which will focus on Fund 03 revenues, expenses, along with the combined unrestricted and restricted balances. We will also review the components of the ending fund balance, our next steps for first interim, and close with a conclusion and opportunity for questions. The unaudited actuals present the district's preliminary year-end financial statements of actual revenues and expenditures. Upon board approval, they are submitted to the Riverside County Office of Education and the California Department of Education in compliance with SACS and reviewed by the district's independent auditor for accuracy and state compliance. As part of our financial process, the district's fund is reconciled to ensure that it serves its designated and unique purpose in supporting students. This includes verifying revenues received, reviewing expenditures, and confirming the accuracy of each fund's balance. With the exception of Fund 03 and 06, our unrestricted and restricted general fund, although through some funds showing a decrease, still maintain positive balances. A decrease reflects the independent spend down of some of our accounts that we have, our fund balances. With the exception of Fund 03 and 06, some of these additional accounts also show a negative or a decrease. This again goes back to the decrease that reflects the intentional spend down of our funds within those balances. In unrestricted general fund, LCFF revenue came in lower than projected, but higher state and local revenues brought an overall increase compared to our third interim and our multi-year projection. The increase was in part of our interest revenue and home-to-school transportation revenue. However, at year-end, a fair market value adjustment is made in revenue fund balance, which appears higher, but that's an unrealized gain and non-spendable funds. So our true fiscal balance is less than the fair market value of $2.3 million. In unrestricted fund expenditures, actuals came in lower than projected, resulting in savings of over $7 million. This outcome reflects our strong adherence to purchasing deadlines and demonstrates the district's commitment to pertinent financial management and fiscal stabilization. Sorry. In our unaudited actuals general fund balances, this represents combined fund balances of both restricted and unrestricted, along with transfers to contributions to restricted funds such as special ed, as well as the overall change in fund balances, including the recognition of our stabilization and commitments that we've made. The district ending fund balance stands at $130 million after accounting for restricted funds. Revolving cash, stores, and prepaids for our balance is $77.2 million. This amount satisfies the state's revenue requirement for economic uncertainties, but also reflects our prudent stabilization commitments and the district's ongoing focus on fiscal responsibility and long-term financial stability. E.D. Bailey will begin the independent audit of the district's 24-25 financial records next week. This audit is an essential component in meeting the state and federal compliance requirements while upholding transparency, accountability, and fiscal stewardship. In parallel, the district is reviewing its 25-26 enrollment, their average daily attendance, projections against the adopted budget to ensure accuracy in fiscal and program planning, and alignment with the LCFF funding. Additionally, we are continuing to integrate FCMAT recommendations into our process to adherence to operational efficiency, accountability, and long-term sustainability. The upcoming first interim report will incorporate financial adjustments based on actuals, including updated enrollment and ADA projections to ensure accurate revenue assumptions and as well as adherence to our fiscal stabilization plan. In closing, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to our fiscal services team for their unwavering hard work, professionalism, and dedication to supporting our district. I also want to thank our fiscal consultant, our county oversight advisor, our Board of Education, our superintendent, cabinet, and the community for their continued guidance, partnership, and trust. Together, your collaboration and commitment make it possible to serve our students and ensure the success of our schools. Is there any clarifying questions that I may answer for you?
Are there any questions? Okay, Trustee Garcia? Thank you so much. I know you're very, very new to our district. In looking through the items on here, I was a little surprised in 12.1 where it shows the unaudited actual. It didn't have the full document. I had to find it much farther down in the agenda. So anybody following along on at home, the full document of this is available and it is on the agenda. It's on 17.2, so much farther down. And I was just a little surprised about that. I know this is your presentation, but in 12.1, normally we see it already. So I had to dig a little. And for anybody trying to follow along at home, the unaudited actuals is very important because this is our receipt. Our budget for the year is your Costco shopping list. And this is what actually happened. What did you really spend? What did you not spend, right?
Correct.
So in following along, if we could go back to the slide, components of ending fund balance. I was following along within the document, which anybody, if they wanted to follow along, is in 17.2. It's the very large PDF. It's over 100 pages. But if you go on page 22, you can follow along with these figures. So in the stabilization commitments, I was confused on how we got to the 65 million because when I look at our stabilization arrangements, it's 57.4. So then I was looking at it and I'm like, okay, it's actually the exact figure of the 65 million is when you add that next line of the 7.8 million. Then you get to that 65 million. That's the way I got to the 65 million. So it looks like we have it in there twice because it's counted once when you got to the 65 million and then we're listing it again. So that was a little strange for me. I don't know why we did that necessarily. Because I was on the page of page 22, I also noticed that future forward and in all fairness, this is the unaudited actual. It seems like we have done well overall. And you did say it earlier that we are still in the green, or we don't say it like that. We say it's in the black. We're doing okay. We're following our stabilization plan. You see it right there in these numbers. 65 million is technically what we've done so far. I just thought it was interesting that for our new budget, we have 8.3 million unassigned. That's new. And I just thought that I'm gonna keep an eye on that, and it's unassigned. I don't know what's there for that one. I wanna make sure that our public understands you're very new. You weren't a part of the RIFs. You weren't a part of the downsizing. We have, though, and that is where you're coming in. We are tightening our belt in so many ways. And it looks like from this that we're following through with that, which is why we're doing well. But I don't want us to hide money from the public, right? I want to make sure that we're all being very transparent on where are we spending, where aren't we spending.
So as far as that figure, I just didn't like that it was counted twice, and that might have been just a purely clerical error. Nobody thought about it. But I want the public to be able to, as best they can, to follow along, because they know that when they're going to their schools, they don't understand all of this. These are million-dollar figures. All they know is they don't have their parent liaison. Their bus routes are all out of whack. They're not particularly happy with us at the moment. If we don't have our numbers correct, this is how we make our decisions. I know you were not a part of this before this, but now we're going to look to you for those numbers for our very important decisions. So I just want to make sure that we're as accurate as we can be on here, so it's not misleading to our public that's trying to follow along.
Thank you, trustee, for your comments. As we adhere to our fiscal stabilization plan, which is actually a 3-year commitment, although we do have an increase in fund balance, however, we do have to remember that the expenditures are for 3 years. And so when we look to that, this is just a tiny piece of that stabilization commitment that we have in place. There are millions of dollars that we still need to account for. We still also need to go over our first interim, and that will be presented in December, which will also account for the monies that are in here.
Just a real quick comment. Ms. Vigil, you thank the board. We thank you, right? You're coming in at a challenging time. And I could see how you could do numbers over here and out of convenience, right? But I think the reality is, the objective is to make sure that we stabilize this school district. I think you're tasked with that. I'm going to do everything that I can to work with you to make sure that happens. And we're just happy to have you on board. And you're coming on at a very difficult time. But I think when we look back in the next 3 years, I think you're going to be very successful.
Thank you, Trustee Gonzalez.
Thank you. Other questions, comments? No? Okay.
So you referred to a $7 million sort of bucket of funds. Where is that at here?
So if I go back to, it's actually a combination, right? So if I go back to my revenues, let me go back here. So inside of our revenues, when I had described this, we did have some interest that wasn't originally budgeted in our third interim, as well as in our adopted budget that came in. We had additional pieces as far as in our actual expenditures here that we did not make. So basically, if there was something out there, then we were able to pull that back at the end of the year. That's where we recognize those two different pieces.
Thank you, and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? No? Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
We're going to move on to item 9.1, board policy, hiring of certificated classified staff. I know that we are going to...
Madam President, just on 8.2, it says approval. So are we approving it here on 8.2, or is it a different?
There's an item afterwards that we're approving it. So right now, we're just presentation. Yeah, thank you. 9.1, board policy. So I know that we're going to start the process. I believe maybe this one was requested by a board member, or Dr. Esparza stepped out. Monica?
I think this was just up for discussion, to start the discussion on the board policies we need to review.
Okay.
This one, there was a question on regarding our hiring practices, why staff is not allowed to start until they get board approved. So this is just board policy, just to review and to consider changes if we need to make.
Okay. And will this be going to our policy committee and kind of going through the process? What will that look like?
Ms. Vargas, again, we're reacting to the shiny light, right? The reality is that I don't know of any school district that hires somebody that doesn't have a complete background. We're being asked for by the union to hire people that haven't gotten cleared, and it's uncalled for. And I don't think we should be reacting to this. There is a process in place. People need to be hired when they get cleared. to get hired with the school district. And approved by the board.
Okay. Any other comments? Any other clarification? I know that I don't know, actually. So I know that we're going to start to approve and review our board policies because they are outdated. I think this one is 2019. I don't know.
Did you, Ms. Vargas?
Sure. No, I did not.
Okay.
I'm not sure, so I'd have to check in with Dr. Esparza. But I think for us, we are going to start to get into the practice of approving and updating our board policies. So we're going to start here. But I think we're going to start discussing that in the future. We can move on. Yes, I'm sorry.
What's the agenda together? I would ask, you have all the information, why someone was brought to us, who brought it, what was the concern, and what policy? It's a policy the board needs to discuss on. But again, we brought something to us because, and again, we know the request came, because I saw it from the union. The request came from the union, but the union doesn't put stuff on the agenda.
No.
You and the superintendent put it together.
Yes.
Not you. And actually,
I'm okay, yeah.
responsibility.
Yes.
To make sure that if it's going to be brought, that we have information. Who brought it, what's the purpose, and why is this discussion important? If someone wants a thing changed, so be it.
Okay.
I don't.
Hear about something that nobody seems to know why it's on the agenda.
Ms. Vargas, I'm sorry, we're sitting here, it's almost 10 o'clock at night, right? People got to go to work in the morning. I got other things to do myself, and we're sitting here putting things on the agenda that have no reason for being on the agenda, just because we're reacting to a shiny object, and I think we can do better than what we're doing right now.
Okay, so just to move on, and I apologize, I'll, make sure that for the future, I'll make sure I understand if someone's requesting something to be put on the agenda, I'll get clarification on who that is. Just to note, one of the things we talked about that FICMAC identified is that our policies are outdated. And so we will be starting that process of putting our policies up to date. This one specifically was last reviewed in 2019. It's 25. So, it will be a practice. I'll check in with Dr. Esparza to make sure that we have a process and that we all understand what that looks like and be prepared for the next agenda. We're going to move on to action items, administrative services. So we're going to do 10.1.
Motion to accept staff's recommendation, item 10.1.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, second by Trustee Arredondo. Do we have all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. 10.2, Dr. Francis Esparza, adopt board resolution number 2026-14 to remunerate Trustee Thomas Ortiz.
I motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? So we have one abstention. Motion carries. We're going to do 10.3, Dr. Francis Esparza, adopt board resolution number 2026-15 to remunerate Trustee Gonzalez. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Trustee Acuña, second by Trustee Arredondo. All those in favor? Oh,
Can I ask a
yes,
question?
I'm sorry.
I guess after reading this, I'm trying to figure out what is the hardships acceptable. Is there some place I can review that? And it doesn't even say what was the case of why it was in place. So that's why I abstained on the other one and will do the same one on this, because I don't have enough information to vote either way.
Okay. I think those, do you have the answer?
Call for the question. Why shouldn't you?
We can, why don't we just, since you guys are gonna vote for it, doesn't matter, but I'd like to have a clarification.
We can provide, we can provide the board policy that kind of outlines like what provides kind of the exception and be able for us to provide the stipend.
Thank you.
The general concept is illness, family emergency, conflict with work, you have to be out of town for work.
Yeah.
Right, no, I got that from the reading, but I didn't know why.
Oh, the specific board member?
Right.
Oh, okay.
What was the reason? That's all I'm saying. And we don't have to say what it is here, but.
In policy, we've never asked individual board members to explain themselves in public why they have to be out. Some of it is personal reasons or not. We generally rely on anonymous
So. Thank you, thank you. We have a motion, a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention?
I abstain.
Two abstentions, okay. Action items, educational services. We have Socorro Sanchez requesting approval of memorandum of understanding between Coachella Valley Unified School District, Saul Martinez Elementary School, California Inland Empire Council, Boy Scouts of America for 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Go ahead.
Second.
I have a question. I
Yes.
have a lot of questions.
I do too.
Okay, Mr. Trustee Acuna?
So why are we doing an MOU? Why is this not just a simple facilities use request with a request to waive the fee for the use? It seems we are getting into an area, and for those of you who here are waiting for the other ones, my argument's going to be the same for your particular situation. These are outside entities, and sure, we work with them and support them, but why do we have to go into an actual MOU if in the past the practice has been, unless there's some legal policy that I don't know of? We've done it before. I remember the Girl Scouts person they wanted a bunch of extra things and they didn't want to do the back, there was some other stuff with that. So
Maybe that's why we need an MOU.
well, no, but the MOUs is now we have become part of these organizations, and that's where my concern is. We have facilities used for, we had a church that used to use Bobby Duke School as a facilities use. I don't care what the organization is, they meet the criteria, they come in. If they're a group that's serving our kids, we normally waive the fee. I'm just curious as to why we now have to have MOUs instead of simply doing facilities requests. You come and ask us to waive the fee. If it supports our students, I don't think we've ever not waived the fee. It just seems like now we're becoming part of these organizations and a partnership, which I have a concern of, no matter who the organization is. And then my other question would be, we have in the state of California, in our own non-discrimination clause, that all students, regardless of background, sexual orientation, anything, are accepted in all these programs, and you can't discriminate against them. I just want to make sure that all these programs, because the Boy Scouts got in trouble a few years back because of that particular option, and they lost some of their funding. So I just want to make sure that if we're doing this, because now we're partners with them. If it was the facilities use, it wouldn't matter. That's their organization, what they do, that's private, that's their system. So that is kind of my, I guess, opposition to why are we doing MOUs.
Ms. Sanchez?
You know, we can outline that next time, but there was a question on the liability insurance, if they had enough, and it was just something to make it sure that they made all the requirements, not just applying for facilities. I can't remember exactly where it originated, where it needed to be an MOU, but we can get the history on that.
Yeah, but you know, Mr. Cunha, I agree with your thought, and I follow your process, right? But an MOU isn't a contract. An MOU is a simple, it's an understanding, right? That you need to have this, you need to comply with the insurance requirements. What's the name of your organization? You put it in there. We have a facilities. I don't know if there's much of a difference between an MOU delineating what we're all doing and a simple facilities request, right? And us waiving a fee, right? Because even in that vagueness, right? They still got to have insurance. They still got to have.
The background says Saul Martinez Elementary School in collaboration with the California Empire Council. That's not
the way it's written.
That's not a facilities use. That's a partnership now. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
So again, I welcome all organizations to come and use our facilities. That's never been a problem for me, regardless of what they do or how they do it. My question is, which still hasn't been answered, is why an MOU and not just a facilities use? And if there's a liability that's in charge of that, all the organizations, all nonprofits have to have their own liability insurance. All we ask for is copies of that. And if you serve our students, I don't remember a time when we did not waive the facilities use based on if you were serving our students. So again, my concern, and again, my opposition, and again, it's not personal to any of the organizations, it's now we're becoming partners. Is that the process that the board wants to become partners with all these groups? So now we are kind of sharing their philosophies and their things, which again, I don't mind as long as they're simply using the facilities and they can recruit our kids. You can put flyers, as any organization asks for flyers to be passed out. I have no problem with any of that. So that is my main concern on this issue.
We beat this one up. I call for the question.
Is there staff that can answer the question, or are we bringing back information to answer the
I think they
questions?
did. I think she already answered.
Sanchez? Yeah. Well, you gonna say something?
The question was on the MOU. I know that they work with our students, and like Dr. Makowitz said, it's the liability purposes and what they do. So it's outlining the memorandum of understanding.
A motion to accept staff's recommendation.
Ms. Hold on.
I was.
I'm sorry, okay. Yes, trustee Kalamaz, you have the.
Yeah, thank you. My comment here was regarding the fact that it says Saul Martinez Elementary School seeks to expand its after-school. So it talked about expanding it, and I just didn't see anything that talked about how they're going to offer it to more students. What are they going to, is it available to all students? Is it right after school? Do they have to have some kind of transportation to get kids and so on? So my question was really in regards to what does expansion mean and how are they going to offer it to more? But that, I don't know if that was appropriate to ask at this juncture.
I think your comment is, it almost kind of goes to what is being commented, right? We're not going into this isn't a scope of work. They are simply using our facilities. It is a scope.
The way it's written, yeah, it is.
They're talking about, the school side is talking about expanding this as one of their programs. This is no longer, this is not an MOU, this is an actual, we are now working with the Boys and Girls Club to come into our school site as part of the school district.
Yeah, Mr. Cunha, and I don't know if there's a way to change the language here today on these as written, right? Obviously, it is of concern. I see the concern, right? We talk about expanding a program. Well, what's our responsibility in expanding a program? I just think for the sake of discussion and where we're at right now, I don't know if there's a way for maybe to approve these and then direct staff to be cognizant of the concern that the board has and maybe rewrite the MOU. If you want to call it an MOU, this is what we get to do, this is what you get to do, but at no time try to make it seem like we're working or responsible together.
Okay. So do we want to table this?
Call for the question.
I would simply ask that in lieu of this, we simply approve a facilities request use and waive their fee and let them use the facility and work with the principal.
If that's a motion, I'll second your motion, Mr. Acuna.
There's already a motion on the table.
There's a motion to approve the item. We have a second. I think my only comment, I think we should go back to our board policies and see what's in place. I mean, I think it seems like good standard practice to have something, in writing that sets some parameters of how, they're going to use our facilities if it's a longer, use of.
Yeah, I think,
but yeah.
President Vargas, I think staff worked in good faith, right, with good intent, obviously not understanding the points that have been made by the board members. I don't know if we could approve this today and then let them use their poetic license, their professionalism to address the issues that we have as a board, that board members have. But I would definitely want to approve this stuff today, not bring it back, not see it again. Just order staff, Dr. Sparsa's office, to make sure that we do this in an orderly way that's not implicating us or holding us responsible for this after-school program.
Dr. Makowitz, do you have one last comment?
Our after-school program.
Yeah,
Now becomes our.
Well, I understand, for an after-school program, not our after-school program.
No, our after.
Well, the way it's written, yes, but I'm saying that we're cognizant of that, right? And then we make that adjustment when we enter into an agreement.
Yes, Dr. Martinez.
When I first got here, when we spoke to legal, they said an MOU was stronger than a facilities request in terms of scope of work, liability, I'm pulling up the thing, a termination clause, legal and policy compliance, and responsibilities of each party. So being new, I think I listened to the lawyer at the time, because we had a combination of some MOUs and some facilities requests. We can come back and give a better presentation, but I think we were just going under legal guidance at the time. and it was with the good news, and the good news was pulled initially because there wasn't an MOU, and then we worked on one with the legal team.
I just think the problem is a couple words, right? I don't think it's.
Well,
Any other board
if we had
description?
an MOU that outlined our facilities use permit, that would be different.
Yeah.
That's not what this language says.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so
call
we
for the-
have a
call for the
motion and a
question.
sec,
I motioned,
a motion and a second. All those in favor?
maybe I can amend my motion. I just, reflective of the discussion, staff, I task you with the responsibility of making sure that we're not.
So, so we'll provide direction to staff to follow up. And I guess another thing on my thing to do, make sure that our board descriptions are accurate and reflect what's actually being presented. So I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Abstentions? Okay, so we have one opposed, one abstention. Motion carries. 11.2, Socorro Sanchez requesting approval of agreement with Riverside County Superintendent of Schools for School Link Partnership and Capacity Grant Agreement number C1010066. Do I have a motion?
My motion.
I'll second.
Okay, any comments, questions? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'm sorry, aye? Okay. Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. 11.3, Socorro Sanchez requesting approval of memorandum of understanding between Good News Club, GNC, and Coachella Valley Unified School District.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any comments, questions?
I'm not going to go through the whole thing again, but it's the same argument.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for
And
that.
again,
Again, it's not
Okay,
personal towards that. I was happy that you had facilities use with us, and I have no problem with the organizations. But again, now we are getting into MOUs. The MOUs need to be clearly stated. It's an MOU for the facilities you permit, not as a partner to any organization. It doesn't matter. So that therein lies my dilemma, I guess, is the thing. It's not a support or not support. It's about our process, and I'm concerned about where our process is going.
all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Two oppositions, abstentions? Motion carries. 11.4, Socorro Sanchez requesting approval of Resolution 2026-13 to piggyback of competitively bid TIPS contract number 220105 using Frontier Communications. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Questions, comments?
I have questions, sorry. And looking at this one and the next communications and connectivity and all of that, are we 100% sure that all of these different things are going to talk together and not cause problems? You know, one's voice over IP, one is, Verizon, one is, dual authentication. I don't have the expertise to say that, but if somebody can tell me that we already know ahead of time, that would be important to me.
Thank you.
Yeah, so these services are currently being used by the district. The one that we are discussing right now is for our analog fax lines and our voice services for phones.
And that's in the school?
In district-wide, yes,
So it can communicate district-wide.
correct.
Okay, other questions, comments? Trustee?
I guess my only comment, and it's with the whole cybersecurity, it's the whole package, is that at a certain point, maybe the board should have been informed that our current system is outdated, it needs to be revamped, and it's gonna cost us money, and we need to know, we're going to bring a package to you, and this is what it's going to be, because our system's failing. Again, I support putting it all together, but it just seems like, even we know some of our system is old and antiquated, but there's a full package. Maybe a presentation would have been saying, look, our system is bad, we have to fix it. And this is what we're gonna do, and it's coming forward. So that's my only concern. Not that I support, we have to fix this stuff. It's old and it's antiquated, and we need a new system. But again, it's like all the other departments that we've come, you've done presentations on transportation, on the after school, you did the thing, to tell us that we're gonna have to change, we're gonna have to spend money or do whatever. that would have been, I think, a little better, not only for us, because now the parents are going, you're spending how much money on all this stuff, what, and I can't get a bus on time. Kind of as a parent, that's how I would be thinking. So, I mean, I just think that.
Mr. Acuña,
Bigger in scope.
if you want to make that a motion to table this
No, I
until
don't
we
want
get
to table it. I don't want
until we
to
get
table it.
a
I'm just saying in the
presentation?
future,
I
we're
understand.
gonna be bringing these big packages together.
The way I understood it is, obviously, the gentleman we went through COVID. We dealt with the good, the bad, and the ugly through that process. I want to believe that the technical people that we have, I think they've done a good job in getting us through COVID. I believe any system can be improved, especially as science gets better and better. But I want to believe that the gentleman is bringing the best solution for the big area that we have, the complexity of coverage, and that he's banning different systems together that are going to best serve us.
I understand that, and I agree with exactly with what you said, but every other department that we've done this before, we.
Well, then if that's a motion
Okay.
to table this until we get a presentation, I'll second it.
I don't need presentations, I'm saying in the
Okay.
future, this is something that I believe we should probably get. We're gonna be doing big wholesale changes.
Well, one thing that I know I brought up in the past with our technology is like planning. I mean, we know when something's gonna become outdated. Considering our fiscal challenges, we need to be prepared and think like out into the future. Because an unexpected expense can be a big challenge for us too. Yeah, we have to fix it, but will we have the money, right? And so I think the more we can plan, the better. We have a motion, a second. Do you want to, any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions?
Extension.
One abstention. Motion carries. We are on 11.5, Socorro Sanchez requesting approval of Resolution 2026-16 to piggyback on NASPO Value Point Cooperative Purchasing Master Agreement, number MA 1552, using Cellco Partnership DBA Verizon Wireless.
So,
Second?
I'll second.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. 11.6, Socorro Sanchez requesting approval to award contract for RFP number 114-2025 Cybersecurity Pilot Program for Multi-Factor Authentication to ClassLink Inc. Network Segmentation Endpoint Protection to CDW Government.
so moved.
Do we have a second? Second. Any questions, comments? I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. 11.7, Socorro Sanchez requesting approval of memorandum of understanding between CVUSD and University of Vanderbilt on ethnic studies research study.
I motion.
I'll second.
Any comments, questions? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. 12, Business Services, Julie Vigil, approval of fiscal year 2024-2025 unaudited actuals financial report. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Gonzalez, second by trustee Arredondo. Any comments or questions?
I just have a question.
Yes.
I went through the document. The only change to the document is the 12-month, 246-day change on that? Is that it? I just want to make sure that there was nothing else in there. We're simply changing the number of days from 210.
You're on the
John
next item.
Huh?
You're on the next item.
Oh, well, it's for the next one too, but it's for this one as well, right?
This is the unaudited actuals financial report.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm on the next, sorry.
Okay. Unaudited actuals. Any comments, questions, concerns? Okay. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? 13.1, Human Resources, Dr. Monica Makowicz. Approval of revised correction, job description for coordinator for career technical education. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second? And Mr.
My
Acuña,
question
yes.
is, that's it, right? That's the only thing on it. Correct, okay.
Okay. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. 13.2, Dr. Monica Makowicz, approval of tentative agreement between Coachella Valley Unified School District and California School Employees Association, CSCA, Chapter 109, dated August 22nd, 2025, and AB 1200 disclosure statement. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Okay, comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. 13.3, Dr. Monica Makowicz, approval of revised job description for K-12 principal and assistant principal. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion the same.
Do I have a second? We have a
Second.
trustee Calamanes. Any questions or comments?
Same question, it's just the days changed, right? Just want to make sure that.
Okay,
no other
so
changes.
just a change in dates. Any other questions? All those in favor? I'm sorry. Yes.
Sorry. So 4 days, but this is, for me, it's like another way to give a raise when no one else in our district has received raises. It just feels like, why are we doing this now? It's 4 days. If things are falling apart because of 4 days, we're doing something wrong. If 4 days will throw us off. Things that are mandatory should be mandatory. We should have people there when we need them. I know they need to take vacation. This is a raise by any other work for me, so.
Dr. Monica?
Call the question.
Dr. Makowicz?
First, principals and assistant principals no longer have vacation days. They're on a positive work year. The problem with this is there was a mistake made when it went from 12 to 11 months. We did not catch it, where would allow the PD for the principals and APs to happen just right before the end of the year and carry us through summer school, where I wouldn't have to pay them an additional stipend to make it through a few days. We didn't realize there was a mistake. The dates were like 247 days originally. So if you do a ratio proportion of the 11 days, I worked with fiscal on it, it came to around 213, 214. So that's how we came up with the 214. So they took a pay cut more than they should have. I'm explaining that right.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Okay, so we have two opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, item 14, consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered by the board to be routine and will be acted upon in one motion. There will be no discussion on these items prior to the time the board considers the motion unless members of the board or staff request specific items to be discussed and/or removed from the consent calendar, in which event the items will be considered separately. The superintendent, assistant superintendent of educational services, assistant superintendent of business and finance, and assistant superintendent of human resources recommend the approval of all consent calendar items. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar items?
Ms. Vargas, I motion to approve the consent calendar respecting any board member wanting to pull individual items.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any items to pull?
Yes. I have 3 items, and then I did speak this over with Board President earlier. I'd like to pull 18.1 and 18.2 as a whole and have a discussion instead of pulling every single item off the agenda, which will take us all night. So if you guys are fine with that, I'll pull those 2 items, have a discussion, then vote and move on. If not, I can pull them all out individually, if you don't want to do that.
You said 18.1 and 18.2?
And then I also need to pull 18.1, item 5 as an individual item to vote on it separately.
Okay.
I had one,
yes.
16.3, I just wanted to understand more about the Dell Technologies, if that was the most cost-effective to add for adult education.
Okay, 16.3, okay. Any other item? Okay, so we have motion and a second with a number of items pulled. All those in favor to approve the consent calendar?
Aye.
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 Opposed, abstentions. So moving on to item 16.3, Socorro Sanchez requesting approval of purchase with Dell Technologies for desktop computers for Coachella Valley Adult School. And the question is around, you wanna?
Yeah, so the question was, so it's going to purchase 31 Dell Pro all-in-one desktop computers. So I was just, if somebody had some thoughts that that was the most cost-effective for the adult school.
I'm sorry, I think we had to get a motion in a second. A motion to,
A second?
okay, and then, is it?
Yes, those are the most cost-effective option for that school and the application that they currently use them for. The current computers do no longer support the most up-to-date versions of Windows. So for security reasons, we need to make sure that we have up-to-date hardware so they could use it for testing and everything that they do at adult school.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have a motion, a second, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Moving on to 18.1 consent.
Can you do 18.1, item 5 first, and then
Yes.
we'll go back to the others?
Okay. 18.1, Dr. Monica Makowicz, approval of human resources personnel report. We have item 5 that will be, do I have a motion? Do I have a motion?
I'll motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Shouldn't we have some discussion? The gentleman,
I thought we had to have a motion,
item
a
five?
second, and discussion.
Mr. Cunha, you had a comment on 18.5?
Hold on, let me find it here.
Did someone second? Second, okay, so we have a motion second.
18.1, item 5.
18.1,
I believe it's,
is it part 5?
can't find it now.
No?
Oh, it's
I
it's
think
item
I'm-
5 in the late.
Oh, okay, yes, it's, okay, so it's 18.1, part 8, item 5.
Yes, sorry.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. There's no other questions? Everyone knows what we're talking about. Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, and abstentions?
Aye.
Okay. So item 18.1, part 8, item 5 passes. Now we have the rest of the, do I have a motion for the remainder of 18.1?
I'll motion the same.
Okay, and a second?
Second.
Okay, any comments, questions?
Yeah, I mean, my general concern is that we have a lot of people still working out of class. Some of them don't make quite sense because of the people going back and forth. We need to kind of figure out what we're gonna do with that. We need to either hire people, or people are out on medical, I understand some of that stuff. And the other one I did wanna talk about is all the extra services of the late submittals. With all due respect, did not meet the deadline is not an excuse, it's just, I didn't meet the deadline. I want to know is, if it's coming from the same sites or the same individuals over and over, are we actually doing something? We had that, we did not meet deadline, we did, some of them were due to the bumping, which that I understand is going back and forth. But, and then on the next one, there's gonna be some of the, inadvertently left off of the request. Request set and budget approvers queue for several days. I mean, these are reasons why it didn't get done on time, but again, are we doing anything to make sure? And I know I'm the one that complains about this the most, I always have since I got here. But those are not excuses, those are just reasons why they didn't happen, and what are we going to do? There was one large one for ELOP, for the nutrition services staff, and I'm assuming it was from summer school. And at the bottom, unless I missed it, again, the budget sat in approvers queue for several days. How is that not being processed? For summer school, this is where, I'm assuming this is the summer school one. And then we have another one from August 1st to June 30th. And again, it's the same reasons, and I'm kind of like, is there a process that, if it's the same people, I understand people make mistakes every once in a while, and I try to look at the site and the individuals, and it happens. But if it's continuing from the same sites, from the same individuals, from the same departments, from the same things, I think it's our job to hold people accountable. I mean, I know where the process is, but I would ask our superintendent that we need to, I know we have a lot of things going on, but if we can't do the little things right, the big things, people start doubting we can do the big things right. And these are the little things that we're getting wrong, being late, the excuses for being late, again. We have one here, you know, so that is just a big concern of mine. And instead of pulling out each one saying, why is this and why is that, I'd rather address it as a whole and say, give direction to the superintendent and say, please, whoever your staff is, and if they're the same people doing this, we need to fix this.
You know,
We
President
had a whole
Vargas,
discussion about people not doing their jobs. And again, these are the little things. And again, as we had a discussion earlier, none of these people should be working until they get approved. I happen to know that many of these people have already started working without being approved. So that is a problem. And that's not, and at this point, it's not the fault of the individuals' names that are on these things. They said, hey, we got you, you're approved, go ahead and start. They start working. They don't know the other processes. This is more an administrative process, policy process than the staff person. It's not about the staff, it is about that process.
Yeah.
But, and again, they started because they had to, because if kids were gonna show up that day and there was nobody there, that was a problem. I understand it. But we have to get a little better at this. So
You know,
that is my one whole thing.
Yeah, President Vargas, I've been listening to Mr. Acuna, you know, it is his pet peeve, and I think this is the first time I hear that somebody was working without being ready to work or approved to work, and that's a concern of mine, but the reality is that, like in every scenario, right, these people have already worked, we gotta pay them, right? We're gonna have to pay them, and I think the frustration that I hear in your voice is that, how does this continue to happen? And I think our superintendent needs to be tasked if there is a pattern, and this is coming from the same individuals, and this is a pattern where they don't get their paperwork in on time, and the submittals are late, and then we need to hold them accountable for how they're doing this. But the reality is, Mr. Cunha, is these people have already worked, we have to pay them.
No, and that's why I mentioned, it isn't about the people whose names are on this.
Sure.
It's about the people who process the stuff.
Absolutely.
Does staff want to comment? I think we have some direction. So all those in favor, we have a motion, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
One opposed and abstentions? Okay. Moving on to 18.2, Dr. Monica Makowitz, approval of the Human Resources Personnel Report for certificated staff. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Comments, questions?
And again, this one is kind of more of the same, although this one did confuse me as to why many of it was late. Let me get down to that. People were waiting for our business services to give them a budget code. So a lot of these people are late. I'll find the exact wording in a minute. Funding source needed approval from business department. So that's why they're all late. If it's a job site, it's a program, I mean, again, these are reasons, they're not excuses, they're the things is that our business department needs to know who gets paid for what and from what area. And again, I mean, you've been here 11 days, so I'm not gonna go down that road with you, but you've been here 11 days. But again, these are all reasons for late submittals. So my assumption is that these programs and the sites submitted them all on time, but because business services didn't give them a budget code, basically, an expense code, a funding source, they couldn't get processed. So that is not even at the site level or wherever, that's again, back to administration.
I think on that, sorry, but I mean, I think it's one of the things that as we're going through the stabilization plan, our department should be communicating. And to your point of staff not working before it getting approved, what if we didn't have the funds, right? And so I think making sure that there's that communication, yeah.
And then there is another, I did have one more question. We haven't essentially, as I see this now, and again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, we have basically moved all our academic, after-school academic intervention, our tutoring, we've basically moved all that to our ELOP after-school program. We've just shifted it over to there, because that's what we're doing now. It's an academic something or other. We've simply moved all those personnel. They're mostly teachers, because that's who teaches the intervention. So we just shifted a whole bunch of teachers into the after-school program. And that's going to cost us a lot of money out of the after-school program. Now, my question is that money coming out of the $6 million that was allocated to be taken away from our budget in our recovery program, or is this cost going to be included in their regular budget minus the $6 million that they've already taken away? Which concerns me because now we've added a whole other section to the after-school program, and now suddenly it is under the after-school program, so I'm assuming it's going to be under the certificated ELOP director. Now you just added a whole bunch of teachers, a whole bunch of staff, and I thought there was a mention of having some coordinators at each school sites to do the academic thing. So now we're adding lots more jobs, lots more people, and we cut down supervisors because we're trying to save money. We're not saving money, we're spending money. So my question is, if we're going to make this shift to turn our after-school programs into an academic program, basically across the board, we have homework help now, we have these tutoring programs, all the stuff that's being shifted. Where's that money coming from? Is that budget source the original $6 million that was in our budget plan, our whole plan? You took $6 million away from that program to fund other things? Or is that going to be paid for by the current funding minus that $6 million?
So 6 million was the proposed for the budget plan. 6 million was not taken away because we had to make sure, because everything's audited, so it was a little over 2 million. So there's still close to 4 million that we did not take. That's still part of the funding for ELOP.
So is that reflective in our budget?
Yes.
Statement that said we didn't take 6 million, so 4 million of that original plan is not actually being used.
Yes.
So now that money is going to be taken out of the regular budget.
It's going to be taken out from other places. We have to work because we have to provide a new fiscal stabilization plan in December. So that's something that we need to work on.
So
Without
basically, I'm just reminding you, we're just basically shifting everything to the after-school program with 2 coordinators. We're now adding hundreds of more people and to the programs and 2 supervisors. So that's our big plan. That's our big reorganization that, again, I said wasn't going to work. I don't think it is going to work. So
Are we?
I just wanted that financial question answered.
Go for the question.
Any okay. Any other questions? Okay. We have motion, we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Abstentions? Motion carries. We've approved, okay. 19.1, I'm sorry. Closed session, we don't have closed session. 19.2, motion to adjourn. Do you have a second? I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? Thank you, everybody.